a.m. And the Class A affiliate of the Anaheim Angels welcome you to Cedar Rapids Kernels Baseball. Now in his ninth season as the voice of the Kernels, here's John Rogers.
Another beautiful evening for Kernel Baseball. The third game of the Kernels' three-game series, part of an eight-game homestand, our third against the Fort Wayne Wizards. The Wizards took the opener on Monday evening, 5-3, but the Kernels rebounded in grand style last night. Before a big crowd of over 1,400, the Kernel pitching staff of Michelle Samar, Alan Buckley, and Bob Zimmerman combined to strike out 15 Wizards and shackle them on 6 hits in a Kernel 6-3 victory. Remember, tomorrow, the final game of this four-game series with the San Diego Padres minor leaguers is our first of a long anticipated by the community, our first noon game of the season, a noon start tomorrow. Michelle Samar was spectacular last night. The French-Canadian gave up 1 run in 7 innings on only 3 hits, and he fanned 10 batters. Michelle Samar from Quebec City, Canada, joins us next on the Dugout Interview. You're listening to Kernel Baseball on the Zone.
Toyota Financial Services of Cedar Rapids understands the importance of reading in the lives of our community's children. That's why they're proud to fund the 6th annual Toyota Financial Services Kernel Summer Reading Program. The generous support of Toyota Financial Services will result in Kernel players conducting a record 32 elementary school assemblies this spring to encourage girls and boys to read throughout the summer. Their reading accomplishments will be recognized by Toyota Financial Services with fabulous rewards. Toyota Financial Services, a true hero to the Kernels and the youth of our community.
Who cares what's in a hot dog? This country was built on the principle that wretched refuse could be made great. So when the tofu-obsessed among us ask what the hot dog is made of, well, the High Life man turns the question back on the questioner. You, sir, what are you made of? What spice do you add to the national knockwurst? No, you do not ask of the hot dog. The hot dog asks of you. Are you man enough to live the High Life? Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, USA.
Michelle Samar, it hasn't been long since you left the game last evening. Has it soaked in yet what a spectacular performance you gave last night? Did you know you were pitching that well?
Actually, everything was kind of working good for me. Like, my breaking ball was pretty good, and the guy played good defense, so I knew that we were going to win that game.
Well, Michelle, your breaking ball working good is quite an understatement. You had those Fort Wayne Wizards baffled. They were either swinging at it and missing or taking it for strike 3. And could you describe the type of breaking pitch it is? Is it a standard curveball? Is it a 12 o'clock to 6 o'clock type, Uncle Charlie? What is your breaking ball like?
It's more like a slurve, you know. It's kind of hard breaking ball. Keep sometimes like the movement of the slider, sometimes movement of the curveball, but it depends like where my arm angle goes. So, but yesterday that was moving pretty good, so that's why I kind of had success with it.
How old were you, and who taught you how to throw that breaking pitch?
I was more like in summer baseball. I remember that coach I had, like my first year in summer baseball in Quebec, said like, all right, man, like you need a curveball or something. So it just like tried to talk to me with like some older players. I was actually like 23 years old. I was like 18 that time. So sorry, and he taught me how to throw that breaking ball.
Did you pick it up fairly quickly, or is it like a hitter? A hitter has to take several thousand swings to get certain mechanics down. How long does it take a guy to learn a pitch like you just described that was so effective for you last night?
It actually took me like the whole summer. I didn't have a good year that year. I was like my rookie year. So, I was just working on it, every time I had a chance to throw a bullpen during the game. So that probably took me a year. And the year after it got better when I finally moved to that traveling team in Montreal. So that's, it got better, a lot better.
Michelle, how old were you when you learned to speak English so well? Because your province, what percentage of your province speaks French?
It's actually 89%. So, kind of everybody, speaks French. But you got a lot of bilingual people. If you go to Montreal, or, in the west part, next to the border with Ontario, you can find a lot of people who speak English. But most of the people are bilingual, so that's all.
It was English. Were you brought up bilingual, or were you brought up speaking strictly French?
Strictly French. I've been learning English since I'm like 5 or 6 years old, in school or something. But it's always all the same things were coming back every year. So I didn't really learn a lot of things. That's more like my freshman year in junior college, and I learned it pretty good. Just hanging out with American people, so that was awesome.
Is that the best way to learn, is to be around people who speak English, or do you prefer taking a formal class in English?
I'm pretty sure just with hanging out with people. Actually, you can learn language and having a good time, so that's awesome. So, just trying to get better, watching TV or just talking with people. So that's how it works.
Michelle Samar struck out 10 and hurled the Kernels to a 6-3 victory last night. And Michelle, I know you've been asked this countless number of times, but Canada is largely known for your national sport, hockey. How does one play baseball, and how much was hockey a part of your young life growing up?
I've been growing up playing hockey because we don't have a long summer season. We have 3 or 4 months, so usually all the kids play hockey, and even in the summer, you can play hockey in the street, with a ball, street hockey sticks or something.
Street hockey or roller hockey?
It's more like street hockey. Kids don't even play with rollerblades, so they don't really like it. But most of the time, just wake up in the morning, go play hockey, during the winter, Christmas time, always being on the ice. Great.
Do kids look at somebody funny that decides, well, he's a baseball player, or is baseball pretty well ingrained into Canadian culture now?
It gets better. Eric Gagne won the Cy Young last year, so that's a good thing for us, people from Quebec. And you can see Larry Walker is doing great too. They're both Canadian, so that's great for us. Trying to get better in a sport that usually would not usually practice. So that's good.
If there was a parade in Quebec City and the featured heroes were Eric Gagne and Larry Walker or Wayne Gretzky, who would draw the bigger crowd?
Probably Eric Gagne because he speaks French. But anyway, we'll try to get along pretty good with English Canadians, even if sometimes it gets kind of weird between both cultures. But that's how Eric Gagne would have the biggest crowd, and people would cheer for him, not for Walker or Wayne Gretzky.
Well, Michelle, you mentioned the two cultures. Now, when I was growing up in grade school, this is in the 70s, there was a movement afoot to separate your province from Canada and have a separate country. What are the differences in culture, and why did the Quebec people actually want to separate from Canada? Was it something about the economy? Was it pride? Was it language? Explain that.
I think, during the 70s, people from Quebec found their identity, We became kind of people from Quebec, so we got more attached to our province. And if you find your identity, finally, you want to have your own country. That's pretty much what the people want. Actually, 49%, because we voted for that in '95, and we actually lost it by 80,000 votes. So it's still on, and I think maybe one day people will understand that would be better for us to have our own country, because it's still different. We speak in our language. We have different culture. We have different laws. So I think we could do pretty good having our own country.
You could thrive.
Yeah. And I'm still dreaming about it, and I'm talking about actually for my dad, and I hope my dad will see it in a few years. I hope he will.
You hope he lives to see it.
Yeah. That'll be great fun.
Were your original people that came to Quebec fur traders?
Yeah, it's gotta be. I don't know. The first guy who came in Quebec actually was a French guy, so that was 400 years ago. Quebec City is going to celebrate its 400th birthday in 2008, so it's kind of old city. It's beautiful. You got European architecture and everything, so that's a very nice place to go.
Are the street signs in French or both French and English?
Everything is in French in Quebec City. If you go to Montreal, you have most of the signs written bilingual, but if you go to Quebec City, everybody speaks French, so everything is in French.
A very interesting look into the life and the background of Colonel right-hander Michel Samar. Appropriately enough, his teammates call him Frenchie. We'll wrap things up with the Colonel right-hander, who was brilliant last night, striking out 10 batters in 7 innings. Back with Michel after this. You're listening to Colonel Baseball on the Zone.
Whether you're a serious athlete or a weekend warrior, injuries can take you out of your game. Smart athletes know that Physiotherapy Associates in Cedar Rapids are the experts in the treatment and prevention of sport-related injuries. Our expert staff serves the metro and surrounding area high school athletes. Physiotherapy Associates of Cedar Rapids, the smart choice in sports medicine. Call us at 398-1569. That's 398-1569. We'll get you back in your game today.
Everyone wants their print and copy needs to be done right and to be done on time. Copyworks will meet those expectations. Copyworks will see to it that your work is of the highest quality. They'll do that by consulting with you at your place of work. Copyworks stands behind their work for you. It will be done right, and it will be done on time. You can count on Copyworks to come through for you. When it's important to you, Copyworks lets your work shine through. Copyworks, Copyworks.
Michelle Samar, this game of baseball, you've done very well so far in your young career. How does a guy get from the description you gave us of that marvelous, historic city of Quebec down to junior college in Florida? That had to be a big change for you.
Yeah, kind of. I got lucky to go there, though. I love Florida a lot. Made good friends over there. More like in Canada games in 2001, and like some scouts from Toronto Blue Jays, they saw me there, and they were good friends with the coach down there in Florida. So they just like gave me a call, and he said, "Hey, do you want to come to Florida?" I said, "Oh yeah, I do." So I just like showed up over there for like the spring season, like in January. I did that both years because I finished school, so that's how it worked, and I kind of loved that experience.
You finished your degree then?
Not really. Like, I didn't graduate for like a real college. I graduated for like, it's more like we have like 3 college programs in Quebec, which is kind of different. But I finished that. So right now I'm kind of, I can go to college, having some years on, and
What interests you, Michelle?
Political science.
Oh, politics. You were very diplomatic about my question about separating, but politics interests you. Are you a liberal, a conservative, or somewhere in between?
I'm more like a social democrat. I'm more like from the left, because like the way we live in Quebec with like all like, and even in Canada with all that like national health insurance program and like some other stuff, people who have money pay for people who don't really have money. So it's social democracy, and I cheer for that. I think it's a good way to live, and that's why I think our country is kind of good, like, about the way we live. Same thing for my province, so that's awesome.
Well, you're very proud of it. Finally, Michelle, were you at all disappointed that the Expos or Blue Jays didn't draft you so that if you make it to the big leagues, you could have played as an Expo or Blue Jay, or does that matter?
No, it doesn't really matter. It's still then the Expos are going to move out for sure, so playing for the Expos is not actually a big deal. And, I don't know for Toronto, it's still a Canadian city, but it's not like, I would rather play for the Angels for the Blue Jays. So.
Okay, well, that's good to know. I've been to Toronto, and it's more like an English city than it is a French-Canadian city. Michelle, I'm sure up in Quebec City they have great bistros and cafes and restaurants. We have a real jewel here in Cedar Rapids for Italian food. Zio Giano's, homemade pasta, great Italian cuisine. Enjoy a $5 meal at Zio Giano's. Michelle, thank you so much for being our Dugout Interview guest.
All right, thank you.
Colonel right-hander Michelle Samar with us on the Dugout Interview. Game 3 of our 4-game series against the Fort Wayne Wizards is just ahead. The series is even at a game apiece. I'll have this evening's starting lineups in a minute. You're listening to Colonel Baseball on the Zone.
None of us can do anything about a bad day, but we can make certain nothing happens to all of our tomorrows. Take everything out of the hands of chance with a well-planned insurance program tailored specifically to your needs. Phil Andrews, your local Pekin insurance agent at Weidenhammer Andrews Agency, is an expert in insurance matters. Phil Andrews will develop the right insurance plan for your home, car, business, and life. Depend on Phil Andrews, your hometown professional with Pekin Insurance.
Who's that cool cooking man? King of the grill, who's your patio daddy-o?
Your patio daddy-o.
Charbroiled, sausage flipping man with the buzz, who's your patio daddy-o?
Your patio daddy-o. He don't make good swimming, number 1 for taste and fun.
Econo Foods is the place to save on Clement's fine products this week. Shop Econo Foods for hot pricing on Clement.
We have an absolutely gorgeous night for baseball here at the new Veterans Memorial Stadium as the Kernels meet the Fort Wayne Wizards in the 3rd game of a 4-game series. We'll conclude it tomorrow with our first noon game of the season. Fort Wayne won the opener 5-3 here Monday night. Last night, behind 7 strong innings from our Dugout Interview guest Michelle Samar, He fanned 10 batters in 7 innings. The Kernels whipped the Wizards 6-3. The Kernels propelled the victory on the strength of a 5-run 7th inning. The umpires are walking out to the home plate area on this 77-degree Wednesday evening, and let's set the starting lineups for Game 3 of our series against the Class A Midwest League affiliate of the San Diego Padres, the Fort Wayne Wizards. Fort Wayne is a game under 500, 12-13, in third place in the 6-team Eastern Division of the Midwest League first half standings. They're 6 behind South Bend, the Silverhawks atop the Eastern Division, and they're 2 back of the Lansing Lugnuts. Randy Reddy is their skipper, a 13-year veteran of big league play with the Brewers, San Diego, the Phillies, Oakland, and the Expos. Here's the lineup Randy Reddy will send out against the Kernels this evening. Leading off in left field, Casey Baker. Baker seen his first action of this series. Peter Ramos, who homered in the first game of the series on Monday night, is at second base. He'll bat second for the Wizards. Batting third in right field is Brian Walbrink. He did not play last night. Jordan Pickens is the cleanup batter for the Wizards, and he's their designated hitter. At first base batting fifth, Fernando Valenzuela Jr. George Kataris is the catcher. Kataris seeing his first action in the series, catches and hits sixth for Fort Wayne. Batting seventh is the son of Padre manager Bruce Bochy. Greg Bochy at third base will bat seventh. Hitting eighth, he's been a handful. He has 3 extra base hits in this series, including a 2-run home run last night in the 8th inning. Drew Macias in center field hitting eighth for the Wizards. And batting ninth, the shortstop, played independent league ball last year, Skip Adams. Skip Adams is at shortstop batting ninth. On the hill for the Wizards is a 24-year-old 6'4" right-hander from a Division III school in upstate New York in the Finger Lake region, Ithaca College. Sazi Guthrie, S-A-Z-I, it's short for Anasazi. Sazi Guthrie pitched for Gary Templeton, the 1997 Kernel skipper, last year. Gary skippers the Gary Railcats in Indiana in the Northern League, and that's where Sazi Guthrie pitched, and he pitched well. He was 9-5 with a 4.00 ERA. Sazi Guthrie is making his first start of the year, no record, out of the bullpen 8 times this season, an ERA of 6.60. Guthrie last pitched Thursday against the Wisconsin Timber Rattlers in Fort Wayne, and he pitched 5 innings and gave up 4 runs, none earned, in a no decision in relief, a 5-4 loss by the Wizards to Wisconsin. Well, that sets things up for you for the Fort Wayne Wizards. Allen Motor Company is now proud to present the Allen Motor Company Kernel starting lineup. Allen's has a fabulous selection of new and pre-owned vehicles now during their annual spring cleanup sale. First of all, it's important you know where Allen's is located. Their spectacular new campus is in Hiawatha. Take I-380, get off at the Boyson Road exit 25, and there it is on North Center Point Road. Secondly, let me give you a couple of outstanding values at Allen Motor Company right now. 2004 GMC Sierra's regular cab, our spring cleanup sale priced at Allen's at just $15,999. That's a whopping 23% off list price. 2004 GMC Yukons, our spring cleanup sale price now at Allen's for only $38,965. That's a savings of $9,000 on those 2004 GMC Yukons. Allen's spring cleanup sale is a great time to buy. They're open late tomorrow evening. They're open till 9 o'clock tomorrow, so you can enjoy the Kernel baseball here at noon, have some supper, and be with your family, and then go out to Allen Motor Company, open till 9 tomorrow evening. The Allen Motor Company Kernel starting lineup, leading off, he had 2 RBIs last night in the Kernel victory, center fielder Quan Cosby. Howie Kendrick had 2 hits in the Kernel win last night. He'll be at second base and bat second. Hitting third in the Allen Motor Company order, the shortstop, Brandon Wood. He tripled last night. The cleanup batter is Matt Pauley. Pauley will bat cleanup and play first base this evening. He's hitting a team-high .344. The Colonel right fielder in the Allen Motor Company order bats fifth, Blake Balcom. Bobby Wilson played a key role in the Colonel 5-run seventh last night with a sacrifice bunt. Bobby will bat sixth and catch. At the hot corner, batting seventh in the Allen Motor Company order is Matt Brown. Caleb Mayer is the designated hitter. He'll hit eighth. And batting ninth in left field, 20-year-old Australian Nick Kimpton. Rounding out the Allen Motor Company Colonel starting lineup on the hill for the fifth start of the season is 20-year-old Dominican, born in Haiti, Abel Marino. Abel Marino is 1-2. He's pitched very well his last two starts. A 1-2 record, a 5.66 ERA. Abel was 10-0 in 10 starts with the Provo Angels last season, and the 20-year-old Abel Marino was 1-1 as a Colonel. Abel Marino is on the hill for the Kernels. Last start was Friday against the West Michigan Whitecaps, and in that outing, Abel Marino went 6 innings, gave up 1 run on 3 hits, struck out 5, walked none. He was a 2-0 loser, but boy did he pitch well, Abel Marino. Well, that's the Allen Motor Company Colonel starting lineup. The umpires are standing at home plate, and Anderson and Brown Eye Care brings us the umpiring crew. A duo of umpires has to focus on a goal of getting the call right. That ability to focus is a necessity. Anderson and Brown Eye Care can help make sure your eyes focus properly on your everyday activities. Darren Boudon will call the balls and strikes, and Timothy Dobb will be on the diamond, the Anderson and Brown Eye Care umpiring crew. A color guard is presenting the colors. They've marched out to the right side of the Colonel infield. They're on the grass between the mound and first base. And as we welcome guests from Alternative Services for Iowa's Youth and Families and Northland Elementary Schools, we're going to have a group of singers from Northland Elementary Schools. They will honor America now. The Northland Singers with the Star-Spangled Banner. Huge round of applause to the Northland Singers as we honor Alternative Services for Iowa's Youth and Families and welcome over 500 or 600 actually from Northland schools here this evening. The color guard is marching towards the dirt batting circle to retire the colors. It is a 77-degree evening, absolutely gorgeous here in early May for Game 3 between the Kernels and Fort Wayne. Deb Williams is our in-studio engineer. Our first pitch is coming up next. You're listening to Colonel Baseball on the Zone.
With all the talk about rising gas prices, doesn't it make sense to drive a fuel-efficient vehicle? You can when you buy with confidence at Randy Keel Honda. Get up to 51 miles to the gallon with the Honda Civic Hybrid. Every Honda model has awesome fuel efficiency. Don't wait for $2 a gallon gas to buy a fuel-efficient car. Now when you can save time and money now by previewing Randy Keel's fuel-efficient inventory online at randykeel.com. Right now, lease a 2004 Honda Accord LX for only $235 per month. At Randy Keel Honda, you'll find many great buys under $5,000 too. Randy Keel is the home of confidence, a 7-year, 100,000-mile guarantee. Randy Keel is dedicated on getting you the lowest possible price backed by the best service in the Midwest. Stop by and see for yourself at Randy Keel Honda, Center Point Road Northeast in Cedar Rapids, or visit them on the web at randykeel.com. Cordell X lease, 36 months, $14.88 due at lease signing. Includes first month's payment, security deposit, capitalized cost reduction, and excludes tax and license.
11:40 for the dugout interview. 11:40 tomorrow morning. Scott Unash will be along for the broadcast at noon, the first of our 4 noon games. And the first one tomorrow. Come on out. We are going to have another great day in terms of warm weather. And tonight's crowd, boy, the plaza section is 4/5 full of folks with maroon shirts on from the North Lynn school system, and we're glad to welcome them to the stadium this evening. Abel Marino, a lanky, lean right-hander, 20 years old, 1-2 on the year, a 2-0 loser his last start. He pitched very well in Grand Rapids, Michigan Friday evening. Abel will have a defense of Nick Timpton in left, Quan Cosby in center, and Blake Balcom in right. Around the infield left to right, Matt Brown, Brandon Wood, Howie Kendrick, and Matt Pauley. Bobby Wilson is the catcher. And as we noted earlier, our Anderson and Brown Eye Care umpiring crew, Darren Boudon behind the plate and Timothy Dobb working the diamond. Casey Baker will lead it off for the Fort Wayne Wizards. He's only 5'9", 160. He has not played in this series. Casey, a left fielder, a right-handed batter, was originally taken by the New York Yankees in the 15th round back in the year 1999. Last season, he split time between Idaho Falls and Eugene. In 2002, he played in 2 different independent leagues. He was with Rio Grande and Elmira, so this guy is well-traveled. This is his 6th year of professional baseball, and my information is incorrect. Casey Baker will bat left-handed, so he's either a left-handed batter or a switch hitter, but he stands in from the left side, and the first pitch of the evening from Abel Marino is headed home. A slider at the knees, strike one called. 77 degrees, our game time temperature. The sun shining brightly, and a breeze blowing from the first base line towards left center. Casey Baker cranks one foul past first base, and he's in the hole 0-2. The Kernel home record is 8-5. 15-10 overall. We're in a three-way tie for the top spot in the Western Division first half standings. Clinton and King County also 15-10. Peoria's a game out. They're 14-11. Baker an open stance, and the left-handed hitter takes high and away from Abel. Marino in 20 2/3 innings has only given up 19 hits. He's fanned 20 batters in 20 2/3 and walked 7. Baker takes a changeup in the dirt for ball 2. The Kernels are in their white home uniforms with red letters, red numbers, red socks, dark blue caps, and red bills. Abel standing in bright sunlight, and the batter in shadows cast by the grandstand roof. A swing and a miss on a breaking pitch. Casey Baker down on strikes, and there's one away here in the Wizard first inning. Peter Ramos is the batter. Ramos batting .293, 1 homer, 7 RBIs. Peter's the second baseman, and he's a fast base runner, 6 steals and 8 tries. Peter Ramos, a slightly closed stance, is from Venezuela. He's 22 years old, and he has 2 hits and 7 at-bats in this series. A slider's a strike called to Peter Ramos. He doubled and scored on a home run in the Wizard 2-run 8th inning. He had a leadoff homer against Micah Posey in the first inning in the series opener here Monday night. He skies one down the line and right. Blake Balcom has to reach at his knee tops to his left. That ball was tailing away from the right fielder, and Blake had to battle the sun, and Peter Ramos hit it off the end of the bat, and he flies to right. 2 gone in the Wizard first inning, and the batter for Fort Wayne is Brian Walbrink. Walbrink, a .268 hitter, 2 home runs, 7 RBIs. He did not play last night. Tony Gwynn's brother, Chris Gwynn, who played for the Dodgers and Padres, now a scout for San Diego, signed Walbrink out of UC Riverside in a breaking pitch taken for ball 1 by Brian Walbrink. He's 24 years old. In his second year of pro ball, he hit 369 games for Eugene last year. Ball 2, a curveball outside. Bases empty, 2 gone, top of the first inning, no score, as Abel Marino will try to make it 3 strong starts in a row. Walbrink stands straight away from the right side, and now a fastball is in there for a strike called. That plaza section, the Papa John's Plaza section down the right field line, continues to just fill up with folks from the North Lynn School District. Swing and a miss as Abel got the batter on a curve low and away for strike 2. Walbrink steps out of the batter's box. He's 6'3", 200 pounds, wears his gray trousers just below his knees, and that exposes his navy blue socks. A high fly ball into shallow right. Howie Kendrick calling for it, and 25 feet onto the grass in shallow right. Brian Walbrink has popped out to the Colonel second baseman, and down in order go the Wizards at the hands of right-hander Abel Marino in the top of the first inning. After 1/2 inning on this 77-degree sunny night, it's Fort Wayne nothing, and the Colonel's coming to bat. You're listening to Colonel Baseball on the Zone.
Bud Light Beer, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
On the outside, everything looks fine. But on the inside, an unseen enemy is plotting the destruction of your home. Termites. Termites can be deadly to your home unless you fight back with certified pest and termite control. Yes, termites have made their way to Iowa, and they can cause extensive damage to your home before you even know they're there. It takes a trained professional to look in all the right places. Don't risk your home. Call the experienced, licensed, and insured experts at Certified Pest and Termite Control. 1 in 5 homes inspected have shown signs of termites. Certified offers guaranteed inspections and a 10% discount for seniors. Locally owned and operated, Certified carries a full supply for the do-it-yourselfers. Look for the giant ant at 1141 16th Avenue Southwest. Don't take a chance. Call Certified Pest and Termite Control today.
Abel Marino retired the side in order in the top of the first. And Sazi, that's S-A-Z-I, Guthrie. He is not Japanese, even though that first name would make you think he might be Japanese. He's from Ithaca College in a beautiful part of the Empire State of New York. Quan Cosby hitting .215 with a couple of homers, 4 RBIs, 2 of them last night on ground ball outs. Batting left-handed, the switch hitter looks at a strike on the outside corner. This fella's making his first start, and he delivers strike 2 at the knees, a fastball to Quan. Quan steps out. He'll be followed by Howie Kendrick and Brandon Wood in the Colonel order. The 0-2 is bounced over the hill into shallow center. The second baseman behind the bag makes a good play and throws not in time. An 0-2 single over the pitcher's head of an infield variety. Boy, Peter Ramos went a long way to his right to take a sure base hit away from Quan. He made it close at first, but Quan, with that blazing speed, batting from the left side, beat the peg, and he's at first with nobody out. An 0-2 pitch, and Cosby bounced it over the head of the 6'4" right-hander for a leadoff single. Here's Howie Kendrick. Quan not running, and a strike on the inside corner. Howie's 4 for 8 in the series. His 2-run single in the Colonel 5-run 7th capped the inning and made it 6-1 Colonels. The Colonels won it 6-3 last night. Howie, a right-handed batter with a .256 average, stands straight away from the right side. The Fort Wayne right-hander delivers a little dribbler to the left of the mound. The pitcher throws it away. Safe at first. Oh, Fernando Valenzuela had to be pulled off the bag to the first base Colonel dugout side of the first base bag, and an error by Sazi Guthrie has the Kernels threatening here in the first. Howie Kendrick bounced it to the left of the mound, and Sazi Guthrie lobbed it to first and put too much air underneath it, an error on the pitcher, and the Kernels have runners at second and third with nobody out here in the first. Does Bobby Magallanes want Brandon Wood to lay a bunt down here in the first inning? Brandon, a 2-out triple in the first last night, was 1 for 4, didn't play Monday night, enjoyed the night off. No bunt as Brandon Wood swings and misses strike one. Brandon's hitting .253, 3 home runs, 17 RBIs. The Kernels as a team are batting .232, and that's 10th in the 14-team Midwest League. Wood, a right-handed batter, takes a slider outside and low, ball one. We're just underway. And that Papa John's Plaza continues to burst at the seams with fans from the North Lynn School District. 2 on, nobody out, and Brandon Wood tips one foul off his foot. It rolls about 15 feet to the right of home plate. Strike 2 on Brandon. Brandon still leads the club with 17 RBIs. He slugged 3 home runs. A first-round pick of the Angels last year out of Horizon High School in Scottsdale, Arizona. A delightfully mature and polite 19-year-old Brandon Wood. He's in the hole 1-2. A curve is laced into deep right. Backpedaling is Brian Walbrink. He catches it, and a strong throw to third is to the left of the base, and Howie Kendrick made a good base-running play, or rather Quan Cosby made a good base-running play as he got on his horse and galloped from second to third. A strong throw by Brian Walbrink, but it was about 10 feet to the left field side of third base on one hop. Greg Bochy had to come off the base, and that's very, very good base running by Quan Cosby, because the drive by Brandon Wood did not go as deep in right field as I thought it was, and Quan made a very good base running play. Now runners at first and third, only 1 out for Matt Pauley. He bounces one up the middle, and it's through into center for a base hit. Cosby scores, and Howie Kendrick anchors at second. Matt Pauley continues to swing a torrid bat. He's hitting .344, and his RBI single up the middle, a bouncing ball, makes it 1-0 Kernels here in the bottom of the first inning. Matt Pauley is hit safely now in 17 of 21 games. That's his 9th run driven in his last 13 games. Blake Balcom now bats with runners at first and second and 1 out, and takes a sharp breaking pitch at the knees for strike 1. Matt Pauley driving home Quan Cosby. 1-0 Kernels here in the bottom of the first inning. Blake Balcom doubled last night. He was 1 for 4, hitting .286. Strike 2 called on the outside corner. No, Blake Balcom was 2 for 4 last night. He doubled, and then he singled and scored in the Kernel 5-run 7th. Balcom in the hole 0-2. Blake with 2 homers, 11 RBIs out of Florida State. 2 for 4 last night. The second baseman, Peter Ramos, starts in to the left of the runner at second, Howie Kendrick. Howie got back standing up. In fact, Sazi Guthrie didn't even throw. 1-0 Kernels, 1 out, bottom of the first. Runners at first and second. Ooh, a fastball looked good from here, but the plate umpire, Darren Boudin, said it was low. Ball 1 to Balcom. Blake backs out of the box. Now he's setting himself to prepare for this 1-2 delivery. From the right-hander, Guthrie. Curve, and that one is tapped foul to Bobby Magallanes, the Kernel manager. The 2 teams that we are tied with for the division lead, Clinton and Kane County, are both on the road. The Lumber Kings are in Battle Creek, Michigan for a game tonight, and the Dayton Dragons in Southern Ohio are hosting Kane County. Balcom fought off a 1-2 curveball and tipped it foul. Now again, the second baseman, Peter Ramos, Dancing in to the left of Howie Kendrick. Howie gets back safely. Blake Balcom hit .290 in 36 games with Provo last season. He was a fifth-round pick of the Angels last June out of Florida State. Deep knee bend, straightaway stance for Balcom. A slider low and outside, and the count's even now to Blake. He steps all the way out of the dirt batting circle, adjusts his batting gloves. Fort Wayne wears gray road uniforms with blue sleeves, navy blue caps, and navy blue socks. The wind is blowing from the first base line towards left center field. It's coming out of the southwest. Balcom swings hard at a high fastball, and this is strike three. Blake got his money's worth, took a mighty cut, but he's down on strikes, and there are two away with two on for Bobby Wilson. Bobby, nothing for three last night, set up the Colonel 5-run seventh when he bunted Matt Pauley and Blake Balcom from first and second to second and third. A walk followed, and then Tommy Duenas broke the 1-1 tie with an infield single. Bobby Wilson takes a good hack and fouls one straight back, strike one. Bobby's average is on the rise. He's hitting .268, no homers, 7 RBIs. Had 3 hits on Saturday afternoon and Sunday afternoon in Colonel wins in Grand Rapids. Right-handed batter, Bobby Wilson. A fastball just low for ball one. The outfield for the Wizards plays Bobby straight away. 400 feet to dead center here in the new Veterans Memorial Stadium. 407 to deep left center, 403 to deep right center. Bobby takes another good hack and dribbles one foul to the left of home plate, strike two. We'll have a fun visit with Bob Bunce from Alternative Services for Iowa's Youth and Families. Bob and Jennifer Newman put together a great night here at the new stadium for Alternative Services. A pitch wrapped to shortstop and a leaping grab by Skip Adams. He took a run away from the Kernels. Bobby Wilson hit it off the trademark and looped one to short. Skip Adams didn't skip. He leaped it up into the air and caught it for the final out of the Colonel first inning. In the first for the Kernels, 1 run on 2 base hits. 1 Wizard error by their pitcher, and the Kernels leave a pair. And after 1, the Kernels on top of Fort Wayne, 1-0. You're tuned to Colonel Baseball on the Zone.
Okay, so I'm dropping my daughter off at daycare, and as I'm walking out, I see myself in the double doors. Uh-oh is right. My hair looks terrible. My ends are all scraggly, and my roots. Did you see my roots? I can't believe I've been walking around like this.
Have you tried Costco?
Oh, I'd love to get my hair done, but who has the time? With work and the kids, I barely have time to find matching socks, let alone time for my hair. Besides, I need the works.
Just go to Cost Cutters. They'll have you in and out and looking great in no time.
Yeah?
Yeah. At Cost Cutters, the stylist will keep you looking great with a new cut, some color, even highlights. Check out mine.
Oh, so Cost Cutters is your secret.
Yep. I even get my favorite products there. You know, shampoo, conditioner.
That's it. I'm going to Cost Cutters. Right now. My roots. Thank you.
There are a dozen Cost Cutters here in our area, each offering a relaxed, convenient hair care experience with no appointments and no hassles. Cost Cutters make things easy and affordable with professional stylists who care about you. Cost Cutters. Live your life. We always have time for your hair.
Dan Patrick and Ron Dibble.
Former head coach of the Bad Boys in Detroit, Chuck Daly. Will a team give Rodman a chance to play in the NBA?
I question it. And by the way, he was the ultimate bad boy, supposedly. He's the only guy to this day who drove up our driveway on Christmas to hand my wife a piece of Waterford Crystal.
What are you up to nowadays?
Today I'm watching the West Bloomfield Planning Commission and QVC.
The Dan Patrick Show, weekdays on ESPN Radio.
1-0 Colonels. A 1-out RBI single by Matt Pauley, plating Quan Cosby in the Colonel first inning. A noon start tomorrow. The gates open at 11, and Colonel tickets can be had by logging online to www.kernels.com, Kernels, or by calling our ticket office at 896-7560. Our first of 4 noon games tomorrow. Jordan Pickens, a right-handed cleanup batter for the Wizards, a team-high 4 home runs. Looks at ball 1 low and away, a curveball from Abel Marino. Fort Wayne as a team hitting .246. That's 7th in the 14-team Midwest League. Pickens is slightly open stance. A breaking pitch upstairs from Abel for ball 2. Jordan Pickens from junior college in California, 22 years old. This is his 4th year of professional baseball. 12th round pick of the Padres in 2001. 2-out double in the first last night, 1 for 4. He swings and misses, strike 1. Jordan is 2 for 7 in the series, hitting .329 on the year. As I said, he has 4 homers to lead the squad and 11 RBIs. Abel's 2-1 is a strike at the knees. A fastball that evens the count, 2-2. The lights have just been turned on here at the New Veterans Memorial Stadium. There is not a cloud in the sky. Ball 3 is in the dirt, a changeup from Marino. Abel wears number 13 on the back of his home Colonel uniform. Coming off a couple of fantastic outings, but no wins to show for them. Now the payoff delivery. Swing and a miss. A high slider, and Pickens didn't mean to, but he broke his wrist. And that's 4 in a row retired by Abel Marino, his 2nd strikeout. In his last 2 starts, Abel Marino, 12 innings pitched, has given up 1 run on 5 hits. He has struck out 15 batters in his last 12 innings and walked only 2, yet the results of those 2 sterling starts, a no decision and a loss. He has a 1-0 lead with which to work here in the top of the 2nd, and now he faces Fernando Valenzuela Jr., left-handed hitter out of Nevada, Las Vegas, and he takes a strike on the inside corner. Fernando Valenzuela Jr. batting .273, 1 home run, 8 RBIs. He drills one to deep right. Way back is Blake Balcom in front of the warning track. Balcom has it. Boy, Blake Balcom is a very, very good outfielder. And I'm telling you, with that sun glaring into his eyes out in right field, I don't know how he found that ball. Valenzuela hit it pretty well to the base of the warning track for the 2nd out of the inning. George Kateras, K-O-T-T-A-R-A-S, a left-handed hitting catcher from Canada, Ontario. Went to junior college in Oklahoma, and he pops one foul out of play beyond the lawn section down the third or left field line. George Kateros is playing in his first game of this series. In 42 games with Idaho Falls last season, this 20-year-old catcher hit .259, but he hit 7 home runs. He drills one foul down towards the Randy Keel Confidence Picnic Pavilion and left. The kids chase after that one. And it's 0-2 to the left-handed batter, George Kateras. George hitting .294 this season, no homers, 10 RBIs, an open stance, and his hands tucked right in near his back ear. Abel wastes one high for ball 1. 1-0 Kernels, top of the 2nd. Beautiful night for baseball. Kateras on a 1-2 delivery takes it in the dirt, a changeup. The Colonel pitching staff with an ERA of 4.02. That's 10th in the 14-team Midwest League. State Farm Major League Scoreboard. We'll be referring to that throughout the evening. There were no afternoon games. One of the marquee matchups in the American League. Swing and a miss on a changeup. And another 1-2-3 inning from Abel Marino. He has retired 6 in a row. One of the marquee matchups in the American League has the first-place Texas Rangers hosting Lou Piniella and his Tampa Bay Devil Rays. 1-2-3-0 across for Fort Wayne in the 2nd. Kernels come to bat for the 2nd time this evening, leading Fort Wayne 1-0. You're tuned to Colonel Baseball on the Zone.
When it comes to insurance and financial services, think smart. Think about Farm Bureau Financial Services. For auto, home, life, farm, and ranch, retirement funding, and business protection, call Danny Bateman in Cedar Rapids. More products, more services, more of your needs met. For more information, call Danny Bateman in Cedar Rapids. Farm Bureau Financial Services, more than you think. Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company, West Des Moines, Iowa. The way to pocket important savings is to take advantage of Chevron Motor Oils and Lubricants from the Otson Oil Company, your local Chevron oil distributor. Chevron lubricants are made from higher quality base oils for better performance, and that means longer life for your engine. Contact the Otson Oil Company in Cedar Rapids for details on how you can save time and money with Chevron lubricants. The Otson Oil Company, serving Iowa with quality lubricants since 1933. Visit Otson Oil Company at www.otson.com.
Playing a sport is like driving a Jeep. You want to be tough. You want to go the distance. And you want to be the best. Now at Mike McGrath Auto Center, do it all in a brand new Jeep Liberty, only $15,995. Yes, Jeep Wranglers, Grand Cherokees, and Liberties from $15,995. Make your mark on or off the field in a new Jeep from just $15,995. Only at Mike McGrath Auto Center, 4610 Centerpoint Road, Northeast, Cedar Rapids. It retains rebates. All offers on select models with approved credit plus fees.
Colonel order in the bottom of the second inning, 1-0 Kernels. Matt Brown, Caleb Mayer, and Nick Kimpton to face right-hander Sazi Guthrie. Guthrie pitched for the Gary, Indiana Railcats under the guidance of former Colonel manager Gary Templeton last season. Guthrie went 9-5 and pitched 108 innings. He misfires high, ball one to Matt Brown. Matt hitting .224 on the season. 1 homer, 13 RBIs. Brownie didn't play in last night's game. He was 1 for 3 with a triple in the series opener Monday night. Time called as Sazi Guthrie was into his warm-up, or into his wind-up, and I think Matt Brown got a break. Matt, a 10th round pick of the Angels, out of the high school ranks of Idaho. He bounces one foul into the third base Wizard dugout, and the count is now even 1-1 to Matt Brown. Brown, a right-handed hitter. Straightaway stance, wears a pair of white batting gloves, and looks one into center for a base hit. One hop in front of the center fielder, Drew Macias. That's the third hit of the evening for the Kernels, and it's the second straight frame that the Kernels have put their leadoff man aboard with an single. Quan Cosby, an infield single in the first inning, scored the game's only run. Well, Caleb Mayer is ordinarily very good at going the other way with a runner at first. Let's see if he takes advantage of that big hole on the right side of the Wizard infield with Fernando Valenzuela holding Matt Brown. Ball one inside to Caleb. We've just passed 7 o'clock here in eastern Iowa, and you're enjoying Kernel Baseball on ESPN Radio 1600 AM. KCRG, The Zone, Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Caleb, a right-handed hitter with a straightaway stance, takes a strike on the outside corner from the right-hander. Fort Wayne's outfield has Casey Baker left, Drew Macias in center, and Brian Walbrink in right. They're playing Mayer to hit slightly into right center. Caleb using a black lacquer bat. There goes Matt Brown. And the hit and run was on. Caleb smashed it foul into the backstop. Caleb had a good swing at it. And as I noted earlier, he's very adept at going the other way, and that's what he tried to do with Matt Brown off and running. Brown, 3 for 4 in stolen base attempts. Caleb's batting .208, no homers, 6 RBIs. He didn't play in last night's Kernel triumph. Brown is not running. A curve is bounced foul between the third base line and manager Bobby Magallanes. The infield for the visiting Wizards has Greg Bochy at third, the son of San Diego skipper Bruce Bochy. Skip Adams is the shortstop. Peter Ramos at second, and Fernando Valenzuela Jr. at first. The catcher is George Kataris. Brown may be running. He is not. A tap to third could be a double play. Bochy to second out. Ramos to first. Out on a bang-bang play. I thought Caleb beat it out. He did not. And a 5-4-3 twin killing brings Nick Kimpton to the plate with the bases empty and 2 away. Well, the key to that sequence is Caleb did have a very good swing on a hit and run count, but fouled it straight back. And then he wound up bouncing into a double play. Nick Kimpton is at the plate. Left-handed batter. Nick batting .241, no homers, 3 RBIs. Nick was here bright and early this morning. We went over to Wilson School here on the southwest side and presented the opportunity for those kids to read in the Toyota Financial Services reading program. A strike called to Nick, now a change-up, a swing and a miss. The Grantwood early childhood kids walked up the street to Wilson School, and Nick Kimpton did a great job reading our story for this spring from Toyota Financial Services. Shoeless Joe Jackson and his bat, Black Betsy. A pitch low, and it's 1-2 to Kimpton. Now he fouls one to the screen, and the count remains 1-2 to Nick Kimpton. Nick told the kids at Wilson Elementary School that he's made a squad of 27 players from Australia that Nick hopes to compete in the Olympics in Greece later this summer. A change-up and a swing and a miss by the left-handed batter, and that does it for the Kernels in the second. No runs, 1 hit, a double play, no wizard errors, and the Kernels leave nobody aboard. We go to the third with the Kernels on top of Fort Wayne, 1-0. You're tuned to Kernel Baseball on the Zone.
Kernels fans, your Cedar Rapids Taco Bell restaurants have something new for you to cheer about this season. A Taco Bell 10 spot. When the Kernels score 10 or more runs in any game this season, you'll score beef tacos for just 39 cents the very next day at any Cedar Rapids Taco Bell. That's a savings of 50 cents per taco, limit 10 per customer. Remember, when the Kernels put up a Taco Bell 10 spot by plating 10 or more runs in any game, you get up to 10 39-cent beef tacos the very next day at any Cedar Rapids Taco Bell.
Checking out the classifieds?
Yeah, I'm tired of working at dead-end jobs. I want to work for a company that offers opportunity.
You know, I just got a job at Access Direct, and they're looking for people like you.
Really? What makes Access Direct so different?
I'm making $9 an hour, and I'll be getting a 50-cent increase within 6 months. Plus, there's always room for advancement.
How about benefits?
Access Direct has a full benefit package that includes 401k.
And vacations?
Access Direct offers 10 days vacation plus holidays.
Why am I looking in the classified?
Put that paper down.
Can we go to Access Direct right now so I can apply?
Let's go.
Don't settle for just any job. Find your future at Access Direct. You'll enjoy a relaxed, friendly work environment, and you'll work with great people just like yourself. Plus, you'll receive a competitive wage, benefits including 401k, 10 days vacation, and holidays off. Check out Access Direct today. Corner of Wiley and Williams Boulevard, and just off the Coralville Strip in Coralville.
Abel Marino, coming off 2 sensational starts to end the month of April, has retired the first 6 in the Wizard order tonight. 1-0 Kernels. It'll be the lower third of the Fort Wayne order. Here in the top of the third, 1-0 Kernels. Greg Bochy, a .226 hitter, a right-handed batter, a couple of home runs, and 9 RBIs. He'll take on 20-year-old right-hander Abel Marino to open up this third. Greg Bochy, 0 for 4 last night, 0 for 7 in the series. A curve just misses outside, ball 1. We told you that it is Alternative Services for Iowa's Youth and Families night here at the ballpark, as well as North Lynn Elementary School night. A pitch wrapped to shortstop. Brandon Wood has it, and there's one away as Brandon hits Matt Pauley with a perfect pick from shortstop. 7 straight retired by Abel Marino. Well, a 5-year-old youngster, one of the guests of Alternative Services for Iowa's Youth and Families, 5-year-old Colton Buney, took the field between the bottom of the second and the top of the third, and he got the autograph of his favorite Kernel player, Matt Pauley, the first baseman, as our Culver's small fry. A pitch jackhammered into the right field corner is fair by inches and extra bases for Drew Macias. Drew Macias is at second base with a 1-out double, and that's his 4th extra base hit of this series. He's worn us out, a .329 hitter, Drew Macias. Left-handed batter, he cranks a 1-out double into right, and the tying run at second with 1 out here in the Wizards' third inning. You can register your daughter or son for their chance to be selected as the Culver's Small Fry of the Game at either of the Culver's Frozen Custard and Butterburger restaurants. One is in front of the Windsong 12 Theater Complex here on the southwest side, and the other Culver's Frozen Custard and Butterburger restaurant is just across the street from Allen's campus on North Center Point Road in Hiawatha. Skip Adams, the shortstop, takes a pitch high, ball one. Adams seen his first action in this series. He has played 2 years of independent league ball. He went to the same school as our catcher Tommy Duenas, Florida International. Also the same school as our relief pitcher of a year ago, Ozzie Lugo. A strike to Skip Adams. Adams played with the Kansas City T-Bones last season, a .247 average in 26 games. This year, Skip is hitting .200 with 2 homers, 7 RBIs. He's a right-handed hitter. Abel even on the count. 1 ball, 1 strike. Comes set at the letters. Checks the tying run at second. And fires. The pitch fouled off to the right. Strike 2. So go on over to Culver's Frozen Custard and Butterburger and register your kid for their chance to take the field with a Culver's cap on and get it autographed by their favorite Colonel between innings. And also, they'll receive a certificate for a free kids meal at Culver's. It is a wonderful experience being the Culver's Small Fry of the Game. Strike 3 called. Skip Adams done in on an Abel Marino breaking ball on the outside corner, and that is already 4 strikeouts for the Colonel 20-year-old right-hander, Abel Marino. And the Colonel pitchers last night, starter Michelle Samar and relievers Alan Buckley and Bob Zimmerman, fanned 15 Wizard hitters. Top of the order, Casey Baker, a switch hitter, or a left-handed batter. We don't know if he's a switch hitter. He's batting left. And he steps out as Marino steps off the rubber and goes to the rosin bag. The lights are on here. The sun is still shining brightly with the wind blowing briskly from right to left. A high deep drive, or a high drive into right. Blake Balcom on the run. Can't get it. It's a base hit, and the batter will try for second. He's safe. A double by Casey Baker. He dumped it down the right field line, and it's a 1-1 game now as Drew Macias scores on a double by Casey Baker. I think Casey hit that one right off the end of the bat. I lost sight of it. I'm having a terrible time seeing the ball in right field. Blake Balcom saw it well. He came racing on at full speed, but that ball fell about 5 feet fair down the right field line for extra bases, and the game is tied 1-1 here in the top of the third inning. A fastball is upstairs to Peter Ramos, who flew out to right his first time up. 1-1 with a runner at second and 2 away for the Wizards. Ground ball sharply hit into right. We're going to have a play at the plate. Blake Balcom will throw home, and the runner is safe at the plate. Safe at the plate. 2-1 Fort Wayne. A base hit into right by Peter Ramos, and boy, did Blake Balcom make a strong throw home. For some reason, Casey Baker did not slide, and that almost cost him as Bobby Wilson put a sweep tag on the runner as he crossed home plate. 3 hits in the inning for the Wizards, and they lead it now 2-1. A pair of 2-out RBIs from Fort Wayne's top 2 men in the order, Casey Baker and Peter Ramos. Let's see if Abel can get Brian Walbrink to end this inning. The Wizards have erased a Colonel 1-0 lead with 2 here in the top of the third. Walbrink, a right-handed batter, popped to second to end the first inning. Throw to first, and Peter Ramos, 6 for 8 in stolen base attempts, dives back in safely. There goes the runner. A pitch high, a ball. The throw to second. Out at second base. What a peg by Bobby Wilson to nail the runner. Brandon Wood tagged the sliding Peter Ramos to end the inning. It went 2-6 as Brian Walbrink took a pitch high, and Bobby Wilson gunned out the base runner at second. 2 runs for the Wizards in the third. on 3 base hits, 2 runs on 3 base hits, no Kernel errors, and the Wizards strand no one as they lose the man trying to steal second. We go to the bottom of the third, and the Kernels now trail this game 2-1 to Fort Wayne. You're listening to Kernel Baseball on the Zone.
Multitasking is today's buzzword. We're parents, employees, board members, spouses, caregivers. The list goes on. Your local Pekin Insurance Agency, Sheets Forest Draper Insurance in Marion, is great at multitasking, too. Sheets Forest Draper will find the right insurance coverages for you. See Scott Draper of Sheets Forest Draper for coverages on your home, auto, life, health, and business. Finding the right insurance is one less task for you to do when you depend on your hometown professionals with Pekin Insurance.
Dick Ramsey is the #1 home seller for the #1 real estate company, Skogman Realty. That means when you're marketing your home for sale or searching for the ideal home to buy, Dick Ramsey's home team will get you the results you deserve. Dick Ramsey's home team has the best deal going. Buy one of their homes, and Ramsey will buy yours. That's the winning edge Dick Ramsey's home team will deliver to you. Dick Ramsey, the #1 home seller for the #1 real estate company, Skogman Realty.
Airport National 27-hole public golf course invites you to join our golf family all year with these great specials. 2-for-1 green fees with cart, 2-for-1 range ball, 2-for-1 mini golf. Listen to this unbelievable new special. Only $25 per person for unlimited golf with cart all day long on weekdays, and only $27 per person for unlimited golf including cart on weekends. Play unlimited twilight golf till dark with free riding cart for only $16 per person. Enjoy fast, friendly, fun family golf at Cedar Rapids Airport National.
Top of the order for the Kernels in the bottom of the third inning. 2-1 Wizards. A pitch low to Quan Cosby. Now a strike called. Quan was in the hole 0-2 in the first inning and singled past the mound. He swings and misses, strike 2, and Quan scored in the Kernel first inning. The third baseman, Greg Bochy, was in on the grass. Now he retreats all the way back about 20 feet behind third base at regular depth as Quan Cosby jackknifes out of the way of a pitch inside from Sazi Guthrie. His real first name, Anasazi, A-N-A-S-A-Z-I. From Ithaca College. Ithaca College shares that wonderful, beautiful Finger Lakes region with Cornell College, an Ivy League school. The Ithaca Bombers. I love that nickname, the Bombers. The 2-2 to Quan is drilled into right for a leadoff single. Brian Walbrink gets it back in. Quan Cosby is 2 for 2 tonight. And the tying run at first for the Kernels with nobody out here in the home half of the third inning. The batter, Howie Kendrick, he reached on a throwing error by the pitcher in the first inning. The Kernels have out-hit the visitors 4-3 and are down by a run here in the early going 2-1. Playing on the grass at third is Greg Bochy. Quan not running and a breaking pitch low to Howie Kendrick. Howie starting to come alive with the bat. 4 for 9 in this series. He steps out and looks down at his skipper coaching at third, Bobby Magallanes. Boy, Bobby looks like he could still play. He's so lean and slender. A throw to first, and Cosby dives back in head first. Safely, Quan has 5 steals and 6 tries. The Kernels have pilfered 28 bases in 25 games. The 1-0 to Kendrick. No, instead another throw to first, and Quan back in safely again, hand first. A huge contingent of over 600 from the North Lynn schools in the Plaza section, and a very impressive number down below in the club seats from Alternative Services. A ground ball fair past third, extra bases. Quan is racing towards third. They're going to wave him home. He'll score to make it a 2-2 game on a double from Howie Kendrick. Howie Kendrick now has 5 hits in the series. He doubles home the tying run. Quan Cosby all the way from first on a bouncer over the head of Greg Bochy at third, and it went all the way into the left field corner. Then before Casey Baker could dig it out, Quan Cosby sped home all the way from first base And the Kernels have tied it here 2-2 in the bottom of the third inning. Boy, is Howie Kendrick swinging a hot bat. Now let's see if Brandon Wood can give the Kernels the lead back. Brandon smokes one foul, and let's see. We're going to have Addison or Lonnie check on that TV9 cameraman. That ball came right back at that TV9 cameraman. And let's hope he's all right. A TV cameraman almost hit by that foul ball by Brandon Wood. A pitch in the dirt and going to third. Kendrick, the throw there, not in time. A wild pitch uncorked by the right-hander, Sazi Guthrie, and the Kernels have the go-ahead run. The go-ahead run at third with nobody out for Brandon Wood. Boy, that was good base running by Howie Kendrick. That ball only got about 10 feet away from the catcher, George Kataris. The wild pitch, the third of the season by Sazi Guthrie. A tap past third, foul, and it's strike two to Brandon Wood. Howie Kendrick, the go-ahead run at third with nobody out here in the bottom of the third inning. 2-2 the score. Wood lifts one into foul ground behind first, and in the Kernel bullpen, it's caught by Fernando Valenzuela Jr. In the Kernel bullpen, Fernando Valenzuela Jr. almost overran it. Then he banged chins with second baseman Peter Ramos. But Valenzuela Jr. made the grab, and that's the first out of the Kernel third as Brandon Wood fouls out to the first baseman. Now it'll take a fly ball or a base hit or even a ground ball. Even a ground ball by Matt Pauley would give the Kernels the lead in this game. Swing and a miss on a changeup that drifted way outside. Matt drove in the game's first run with a RBI single through the middle in the first inning. He now has 14 runs driven in. Left-handed batter, Matt Pauley. Drills one to shortstop. The shortstop will throw to first to get Pauley. Sliding across home plate to make it 3-2 Kernels is Howie Kendrick. Howie Kendrick came home on contact. Skip Adams was playing back. The shortstop took that hard hit smash off the bat of Matt Pauley and went to first. A run scored to make it 3-2 Kernels. 3-2 Kernels on the ground ball out by Matt Pauley. Pauley has driven in both Kernel runs this evening. Or two of the three, rather. Two of the three. Swing and a foul straight back by Blake Balcom. I don't think I've seen a more impressive turnout on a school night yet this season than we have. And that's saying something because we've had big school nights here. A deep drive to left, hammered over the head of the left fielder. He cannot get it. Casey Baker will retrieve it to the left of the 378 mark. That's a ringing double by Blake Balcom, his 7th double of the year, the second Kernel double of this inning, the third hit of the inning, and the Kernels, who have taken the lead with 2 here in the third, have a runner in scoring position for one of our hottest hitters, Bobby Wilson. Oh, did Blake Balcom ever tear into that pitch? And he drilled it over the head of the left fielder, Casey Baker. Our friend from the Cedar Rapids Solid Waste and Recycling Department, Kirby, is down below. Kirby has that tan flyer we received in the mail a few weeks back, instructing us how to prepare our items for the citywide bulky item cleanup collection program. And Kirby is going to tell our crowd tonight why it's so important that all of us follow the guidelines on that tan flyer. Bobby Wilson took a pitch low, and now he fouls one off to the left, strike one. Bobby popped out to short, hit a humpback liner to the shortstop. Skip Adams leaping up, took a hit away from Bobby in the first inning and also robbed the Kernels of a run. Wilson steps out. Runner at second, Blake Balcom, with the Kernels' second double of this inning. Swing and a foul by Bobby Wilson, and he's now in the hole, 1 ball, 2 strikes. We have some very special guests that have joined us from Alternative Services. It's their night here at the ballpark, and guys, there's no better seats in the front row here in the broadcast booth. Jack, bring our guests on down. We're great that they've arrived. We're going to talk to Bob Bunce, who we've told you a little bit about in the fourth inning, and he'll have a guest that he'll talk about as well. A grounder to third, and Greg Bochy on to first to get Bobby Wilson. But the Kernels strike for two here in the bottom of the third inning. 2 runs on 3 hits. There were no Wizard errors, a wild pitch, and the Kernels leave a runner aboard and have stranded 3. It's been a seesaw affair so far, and after 3, the Kernels lead the Wizards 3-2. You're listening to Kernel Baseball on the Zone.
Quiznos Kernels Kids Club members. Did you know that your Quiznos Kernels Kids Club membership card is good for more than just great deals at the ballpark? That's right. By showing your Quiznos Kernels Kids Club membership card at any of the Cedar Rapids Quiznos, you'll receive a free small drink when you buy a Quiznos sub. That's a free small drink with the purchase of a Quiznos sub when you show your Quiznos Kernels Kids Club card.
Quiznos.
Mike and Mike in the Morning on ESPN Radio.
Bob DePay joins us from Tokyo. How much time do you and Bud Selig spend thinking about changing with the times and keeping intact some of the beloved traditions?
Every decision that is made takes that into account. We often talk about how the passion of our fans is both our blessing and our curse. Every time we do something, Bud is very mindful of that. And even though there have been more changes under his leadership in the last 15 years than had occurred in the century before, they've always been done with the traditions of the game in mind.
One more quickly, Bob, and that would be the kind of drug testing that takes place on the level for the Olympics. What, if any, effect do you think that might have on Major League Baseball's drug testing policy?
I think there's no question that we can't do it without getting to that type of a program for international competition, and I think it's another step in the direction toward Bud's desired goal of zero tolerance.
Don't miss Mike and Mike in the Morning, only on ESPN Radio.
After 3, the Kernels about hit Fort Wayne 6-3, lead the Wizards 3-2, and Bob Bunce is here. Bob, I know that this is a real special night for the organization that you help head. The long name, which is appropriate, Alternative Services for Iowa's Youth and Families, and I think you've been around almost 25 years now.
Oh, yes, I have, and the agency started in 1979, and we've been around working with kids since then and with families as well throughout eastern Iowa, actually.
Not just Cedar Rapids.
Not just Cedar Rapids.
Well, Bob, I'll have you spell out some of the specifics because when you're reaching kids and families, that's exactly the audience that the Kernels try to bring in on a 70-game home schedule, and we don't reach them in the same ways you do. We entertain them. You help them. Here's a high pop foul behind the plate, and Bobby Wilson runs out of room. Down below it goes off the bat of Brian Walbrink. For those that aren't familiar, Bob, could you give us an idea of some of the neat things that you do with Alternative Services for Iowa's youth and families?
Well, we're about helping kids who have no futures to have a future. We help them find possibilities for themselves, help them find futures that they can focus on. Many of the kids that we work with are in their teens and late teens, and they're looking for a future for themselves, looking to find a way to become successful adults and contributing members of our community. So we help them do that.
There's not much more important mission than that. A curve and a swing and a miss. It's 1-2 to Walbrink. Brian was at the plate when Bobby Wilson threw out Peter Ramos, trying to steal second to end the Wizard 2-run third inning. 3-2 Kernels, top of the fourth. Bob Bunce is with us from Alternative Services for Iowa's Youth and Families. Swing and a miss by the batter, strike 3. Oh, Abel Marino has now recorded 5 strikeouts. He looks good. Well, Bob, how does a young person in their teens either hear about you, or how do you reach out to help them?
Well, the services that we are providing are essentially services for young people who come to us through the juvenile court system, the juvenile justice system, and they've typically had possibly some problems themselves, maybe got into some trouble, or they just have found themselves in circumstances beyond their control.
Yes.
So they need some help and assistance to help achieve adulthood.
A strike at the right-handed hitter, and now the cleanup batter Jordan Pickens takes a left low, 1-1. Well, brother Bob, we all know people in our families or in our lives that could certainly benefit from guidance and mentoring and help, such as your organization, Alternative Services, provides. A curve and a swing and a miss by Jordan Pickens. I know that I did some volunteer work over at Metro High School this fall or this past spring and absolutely loved it. And your mission is very similar to that of Metro High School in that Metro High School is committed to bringing out the best in people that maybe hasn't been found yet.
I think that's right. And I think that we find ourselves working with Metro a great deal, as well as the rest of the schools in the metropolitan area. And one of the things that we have found is that by working together, we can really be more successful than if we try to do things without really joining up with each other.
I think that's very true. It's just like our minor league club here. We do so many things in the community to partner with people so that we can bring the best of entertainment and family values together with some of the things they're doing in the community. A great example is here's a swing and a foul straight back. We're into our 6th year, Bob, with our Toyota Financial Services Kernel Reading Program. For the last 6 years, Toyota Financial Services has stepped to the plate to allow us to go out in the community to elementary schools, a little bit younger kids than perhaps you're working with, but to encourage them to read.
Absolutely. One of the things I want to mention is, the young people that we work with are really wonderful young people who oftentimes find themselves in just circumstances, as I mentioned, beyond their control.
Yes.
And, it's organizations like yours that help us partner to come together, come to this kind of a venue, be able to experience this kind of experience, with watching the ball game and sitting here with families, staff members, with the kids. It's really just kind of a wonderful experience, and it's really positive and supporting of all the things that we want to do.
Well, that's a wonderful, wonderful testimonial, Bob. Thank you. Up slow, and Jordan Pickens is aboard on a walk, and now Fernando Valenzuela Jr. takes a pitch on the outside corner, strike one. Valenzuela Jr. flew out to deep right in the second inning. The tying runs at first for Fort Wayne here in the top of the fourth. 3-2 Kernel lead. Abel Marino, a right-hander, pitching to left-handed batter Fernando Valenzuela Jr. He wears a pair of dark blue batting gloves and corks one hard into right center. On the run, Blake Balcom gets it on one hop and holds the lead runner at second. Blake Balcom made a terrific play to his right to take an extra base hit away and a runaway from the Wizards. Jordan Pickens had to halt at second as Fernando Valenzuela Jr. drilled a one-hopper into right field, and now the Kernel lead is in jeopardy. First and second, one out, and could the Kernels use a double play, pop-up, or strikeout? Bob Bunce is with us from Alternative Services for Iowa's Youth and Families. And Bob, you have mentioned that families are here tonight, and I can't help but think how important some sort of family love and structure is in not only the lives of elementary students and teenagers, but really in anyone's life. Even when we become adults, we cherish the time that we can spend with our families, and that word is a part of your title, families.
That's correct, and I think that one of the things that, although I say that we focus a lot on young people, we also focus a lot on families. We work with approximately 1,000 families every day throughout eastern Iowa, and we feel that that's just very important for us to strengthen families and family values.
Oh, brother, have you said it, because churches, schools, we all agree on that one value of that is of the family. A swing and a miss on another changeup, and Abel Marino has really pulled the string on the catcher, George Kataris. George is in the hole, 0-2. He steps out. He wears his gray road trousers all the way down to the tops of his shoes. He's trying to tie this game or put Fort Wayne ahead with 2 on and 1 out in the top of the fourth. The Kernels want a strikeout double play or pop-up from Abel Marino. A double play ball to Howie. To Wood for one. On to first. Got them both. Hey, we got that double play, Bob Bunce. George Kataris hit a one-hop bullet to Howie Kendrick, who started the inning-ending 4-6-3 twin killing. In the fourth inning, no runs for the Wizards, 1 hit, a walk. There were no Kernel errors, a double play, and the Wizards leave one aboard, their first man stranded tonight. We go to the bottom of the fourth inning. We'll continue our chat with the Executive Director of Alternative Services for Iowa's Youth and Families, Bob Bunce. We'll do it in the bottom of the fourth. Kernels lead Fort Wayne 3-2.
The road to glory. One truly exceptional individual, the lure of America's pastime, and baseball immortality brought him to Cedar Rapids, Iowa. This is his story. Even though he is a quiet, reserved man, many say he left an indelible mark in Cedar Rapids baseball history. ESPN Radio's Bobby V.
They say if he ever does go back, Rob Dibble will end up serving hard time.
His work with wayward women inspired teammates and fans alike. ESPN's Mike Golick and Mike Greenberg.
I hear Dibble got his first tattoo in Cedar Rapids.
That's not the first thing he got in Cedar Rapids.
Rude? Maybe. Lewd? Okay, I'm guilty, but never tattooed. Not Cedar Rapids.
Rob Dibble on the road to glory.
The Zone. Gibbs, trust me, it's okay for you to visit Cedar Rapids. That restraining order's been lifted.
Saturday morning. It's over easy as Scott Unash dishes up the Hy-Vee Coaches Corner here on the Zone. It's a hearty helping of local sports coverage from the Metro and beyond. All the latest prep news, the way only Scott can serve it up, cooked up live from this week's featured Cedar Rapids Marion Hy-Vee Kitchen. Get your Saturday breakfast special by tuning in to the Hy-Vee Coaches Corner, live from the Hy-Vee Kitchen at 3600 Highway 151 East in Marion. Only here on The Zone.
It's 3-2 Kernels, an ending double play off the bat of George Kataris, helping the Kernels get out of trouble in the bottom of the third inning. Bob Bunce, we appreciate you giving us that kind of thumbnail but very well-done description of the mission and the functions of alternative services for youth and families. And Bob, and as we say thank you to you, a strike call to Matt Brown, you're going to hand the baton off to, I guess, an example of somebody who's flourishing in your program. And just tell us a little bit about her, and then we'll let her tell us what she's doing.
Well, we have Jessica with us tonight, and we're going to have her talk about herself.
Okay.
I think she's doing a great job, and she's also interested in radio and television, what have you. So we'll let her
Is that ever
talk.
neat, Bob? Thank you, Bob Bunce.
You bet. Thanks a lot.
You bet, Bob. A ground ball to second and a nifty play by Peter Ramos. He backhands and throws out Matt Brown. One gone in the Colonel fourth. Well, Jessica, you told us between innings that you go to Lynn Marr. And what a neat opportunity it sounds like you have. I want our listeners to hear about it because I just got a little bit of a description of it. A strike called to Caleb Mayer, who hit into a double play his first time. You're a junior at Lynn Marr, but what are you doing in terms of an experiential internship?
Okay, I go to...
A deep drive foul, and it puts Caleb in the hole 0-2.
I go to KCRG to go hang out down there, and I work down there because I am interested in the TV business and the radio business.
Oh, Jessica, what a neat opportunity. How often do you make it down?
I go down there about 3 times a week.
Okay, after school, during school?
This is after school, and I go during the weekends when I can make it down there.
It's a pretty high, intense, but very electric business, isn't it?
Yeah. And I like the people that I work with down there. They are fun.
Strike 3 called to Caleb Mayer. 2 gone in the Colonel fourth. Well, I know a few of them, but who do you get to work with down there in television and radio?
Denny Frary, Noel, and Joe.
The meteorologist?
And Josh, too.
Oh, goodness, Jessica. How neat. Now, do they really just make up the forecast? I'm just kidding. They do a lot of research, don't they?
Oh, yes, they do.
And they read charts. Is a lot of it done on a computer or on satellite, or do they call around? How do they get the forecast so accurately?
A good majority of it is on computers. Some of it is called in, and a lot of it is on satellite. So
a good combination.
Oh, yeah.
A pitch low, and now ball 2 to Nick Kimpton. Can folks still sign up for that personal forecast of their neighborhood? Futurecast or the personal, I forget what they call it, but there's some way you can log on to the computer and get your, a ground ball pass. Oh, Fernando Valenzuela robbed Kimpton of a hit. Kimpton had a double, but Fernando Valenzuela, back of first, backhanded it and stepped on the base to retire Nick Kimpton. The first 1-2-3 inning for Sazi Guthrie as he retires the lower third of the Kernel order in the bottom of the fourth inning. Well, Jessica, we've only scratched the surface. That was an atypical inning. It went quick. With Bob's blessing, let's stay for at least the top of the fifth, and because I want to hear more about what you get to see that most people don't get to see.
Okay.
Jessica's our guest from Alternative Services on their special night here. We go to the top of the fifth, and the Kernels lead Fort Wayne 3-2. You're listening to Kernel Baseball on the Zone.
With all the talk about rising gas prices, doesn't it make sense to drive a fuel-efficient vehicle? You can when you buy with confidence at Randy Keel Honda. Get up to 51 miles to the gallon with the Honda Civic Hybrid. Every Honda model has awesome fuel efficiency. Don't wait for $2 a gallon gas to buy a fuel-efficient car. Now when you can save time and money now by previewing Randy Keel's fuel-efficient inventory online at randykeel.com. Right now, lease a 2004 Honda Accord LX for only $235 per month. At Randy Keel Honda, you'll find many great buys under $5,000 too. Randy Keel is the home of confidence, a 7-year, 100,000-mile guarantee. Randy Keel is dedicated on getting you the lowest possible price backed by the best service in the Midwest. Stop by and see for yourself at Randy Keel Honda, Center Point Road Northeast in Cedar Rapids, or visit them on the web at randykeel.com. The Accord LX lease, 36 months, $14.88 due at lease signing. Includes 6 months payment, security deposit, capitalized cost reduction, and excludes tax and license.
I cannot face anyone but me. Baby, can't you see I know what's right for me? Don't tell me wrong from right. I know just what I like. Yeah, call me crazy, I don't care. Come feel the joy all of my generation. They got their own sound. I'm just shout it out.
Well, Jessica from Linbar High School, a junior in a program through Alternative Services for Iowa's Youth and Families, has an internship down at Channel 9 in the Gazette. And Jessica, as we go to the fifth inning here, Kernel's on top 3-2. You do some very hands-on things to help those four weather people you described. What is it?
I work with the computers. I make the graphics on TV, and then I check down the spotters and the temperatures of the highs and the lows, and I also work with the Gazette.
And what do you do for them? Weather stuff?
Yes, I go to the back page of the paper on the computer, and then I make the temperatures down there and put down what goes on where. And
That's a lot. Let me tell you something. As first pitch swinging, Greg Bochy hits one off the end of the bat and pops out to second. Howie Kendrick went about 8 feet back on the grass and right to glove it. 1 up, 1 down in the top of the fifth, 3-2 Kernels. Jessica, I'm one of those people that turns to the sports page first, but most Iowans, and you probably know this, they either watch the news or pick up the paper, and the first thing they listen or watch or look for is what you're doing, is the weather. It's their livelihood.
Right.
Well, what's the one thing? Here's a looper into right, an easy play for Blake Balcom. I think on the run, he can't get it. It drops, and the batter will go to second. Oh, a double dumped over the head of Howie Kendrick by that doggone Drew Macias. It's his fifth extra base hit in the series. Drew Macias has tripled, homered, and hit 3 doubles in this series. Macias dumped a double in front of Blake Balcom and beyond the reach of Howie Kendrick, a true Texas leaguer, and a double for Drew Macias. He's in scoring position with 1 out here in the top of the fifth. He's the tying run at second for Skip Adams. Skip, a right-handed batter, was caught looking with Macias at second in the third inning. Abel's first pitch. A high, deep drive, hooking, foul onto the Randy Keel Confidence Picnic Pavilion. It bounced over the fence onto 8th Avenue, and the kids still think it's in play. Boy, Jessica, those kids go after a baseball like it's a nugget of gold.
Yeah, they do.
Well, Jessica, when you say you do the graphics and the charts, are those the ones that actually appear when Denny or Michelle or Joe or Josh do the weather?
Yes.
That's a heap of response. A pitch in the dirt. A wild pitch sends the tying run to third with only one out. Ooh, a costly wild pitch by the right-hander. Abel Marino sends Drew Macias to third. Do you have to do a ton of double-checking and proofing, or did somebody along the line do that after you set up the charts and graphs?
Someone usually stands behind me and watches me do it to make sure that I don't, mess up the names or the temperatures.
A tap to the mound. They got the man hung up. Oh, he goes back to third, and they throw the batter out. Skip Adams broke his bat and tapped it to the hill. Abel Marino looked right between the eyes of the runner at third, Drew Macias, and when Abel saw Macias was going to hold at third, he threw the batter out. Boy, was Abel Marino a lot calmer about that comebacker than I was. I thought Abel might run right at Drew Macias and get him into a rundown, but Abel knew that would not be a sure out. He took the sure out as soon as he knew the tying run went back to third. Now, Casey Baker, an RBI double his last time up. He drills one into right, but right at Blake Balcom. Balcom has it to end the inning. Casey Baker lines to right, and the Kernels live a charmed life here in the top of the fifth inning. No runs for the Wizards. One hit, no Kernel errors, a wild pitch. Fort Wayne leaves a runner. They've stranded two. Now, Jessica, I'm not pulling your leg. I'm sure Bob can attest to this. This game is going at a hockey pace. Woo, fast. Could we have one more half inning, I promise, just the bottom of the fifth, then we'll make sure you enjoy the rest of the game with your friends down below.
That's fine.
Okay. After 4.5 innings, it's still the Kernels leading Fort Wayne 3-2. You're listening to Kernel Baseball on the Zone.
Congratulations on buying your new $24,000 car. Oh, wait, you signed the contract, didn't you? Congratulations on owning your new $16,000 car. Sir? Sir? He's fainted.
It seems criminal, doesn't it? The value of a new car drops by 1/3 the minute you sign for it. You haven't even put a slushie in the cup holder yet, and thousands of dollars have just floated away. But you're smart. You've learned the value of buying a young used car. But where do you go? Who do you trust? Well, come see us. We're Select Auto Group, a great way to buy a pre-owned car. One thing, we don't have salespeople. You deal directly with the owners who make the decisions. This gives you the best price right away. And at Select Auto Group, we pride ourselves on honesty and integrity. No pressure, no hijinks. Plus, we offer extended warranties up to 100,000 miles and a full service department to back them up. You'll find us at 1st Avenue and 8th in Cedar Rapids and 7th Avenue and 6th in Marion. Select Auto Group, a great way to buy a pre-owned car.
When you need group transportation, there is only one name you need to remember. That name is Tri-State Travel, transportation provider for the Cedar Rapids Kernels and hundreds of other schools, organizations, and associations in the Cedar Rapids, Iowa City, and Waterloo area. Check our unblemished safety record, compare our pricing, and then climb aboard one of Tri-State Travel's modern deluxe motor coaches and experience our award-winning service. Tri-State Travel, the leader in motor coach group transportation.
Back to action, and for the third time tonight, Quan Cosby leading an inning off. He led off the game for the Kernels in the bottom of the first. Singled and scored. He singled and scored in the third, and he's taking a pitch high 1-1. Jessica from Alternative Services for Iowa's Youth and Families is alongside. Her interest is the media, television, radio, newspaper. A swing and a miss by Quan. He's in the hole 1-2. Jessica, one thing I've always heard, and there's a term, an urban legend or a wives' tale, and I don't know if it is or not, and I'd like you to clarify it in a second. Quan may be 3 for 3. He lifts one into right center. Diving attempt. Brian Walbrink, no go. It's to the base of the wall. Quan's going to try for 3. A good throw could get him. He's saved. A leadoff triple for Quan Cosby. Oh, Quan Cosby is 3 for 3. He spanked one into right center, and Brian Walbrink dove headlong, do or die. It got by him. Drew Macias backing up the play. Heaved it into the cutoff man, but Quan has his third triple of the year. Quan Cosby is 3 for 3. And now the batter, Howie Kendrick, he doubled home Quan to tie the game in the third inning. A bouncer to third. third, and Quan holds at third as Howie is thrown out. I'll be darned. The only place Howie Kendrick could have hit the ball on the ground and not driven in the run was at third base. He hit it just 5 feet from Quan Cosby, and Pogo sticking up in the air with Greg Bochy, and he threw out Howie Kendrick. Oh, this game is being played at the speed of a hockey game. We're in the bottom of the 5th inning. A leadoff triple for Quan Cosby. He's at third. And the batter is Brandon Wood. A slider low and away. Okay, Jessica, here's my question. Does Denny Frary and his 3 colleagues that you work with, do they actually stand against a curtain or a wall when they give the weather forecast? A high pop-up into shallow right. We're going to have a play at the plate. Walbrink catches it. The throw home. Way up the line. Quan Cosby scores. It's 4-2 Kernels. Brandon Wood with his 18th RBI of the year. A sacrifice fly into right. And it's 4-2 Kernels. Jessica, are those weather people looking at a blank wall? That's what I'm asking.
Actually, it is a blue wall behind them, but they have TVs on both sides of them, so they know exactly what they are pointing at and what exactly they are looking at.
But doesn't that take a lot of training or getting used to be able to look at 2 TV screens and then point to the exact place on that blank blue wall?
Yes, it does. You would have to go through college of actually learning how to do that before you can get on TV and be able to do that.
Now, you're not giving away trade secrets, are you?
No.
I don't think so either. But I'd heard that. I wasn't sure if it was true. Matt Pauley on an 0-1 pitch is struck in the lower leg. Matt is fine. He's driven in 2 of the Kernel 4 runs, and he's aboard with 2 outs as the pitcher Sazi Guthrie hit him. So those guys and gals at Channel 9 actually point to a blank wall, a blue wall, but they see what they're pointing to on a monitor.
Right. There's a monitor in front of them, and then there's 2 TVs along the sides of them so that they can move right or left, and then they can point at whatever they need to.
How big is the actual studio? Is it the size of a garage? The first pitch to Balcom is drilled into deep right. It's going to be down for extra bases, I think. No, the right fielder in front of the 390 mark makes the catch. Blake Balcom flies out to deep right in the Kernel 5th inning. 1 run on 1 hit. There were no Kernel errors, or Wizard errors. The Kernels leave 1 and have stranded 4. Now, here's what we're going to do, Jessica. We're going to keep you here for a little longer. Because you've helped at Channel 9, I'm going to put you into a duty here. You're going to answer the phone for our Springhouse Family Baseball Trivia question. I'll give you the short bit of training between innings. Is that all right?
That's fine.
Okay. After 5.5, check that. After 5 innings, the Kernels lead Fort Wayne 4-2. You're listening to Kernel Baseball on the Zone.
It's a good bet. Many of you have unwanted, perhaps non-working, bulky items taking up space in your basement or garage. Well, now's the time to get rid of them during the annual bulky item cleanup in Cedar Rapids. The do's and don'ts are spelled out in a flyer you received in the mail recently. It lists the wood and plastic articles city crews will pick up when they come to your neighborhood and explains how to dispose of unwanted appliances, tires, and scrap metals. Or check the city's website for all the details. This reminder from your friends at Cedar Rapids Solid Waste and Recycling.
A batter connecting with one right on the sweet spot is one of the most comforting sounds of summer. Thanks to Comfort Solutions by Banks, you can experience the comforting sounds of our national pastime in a home comfort system from Lennox. You can count on Comfort Solutions by Banks for friendly sales and service, free quotes, and high-efficiency, environmentally friendly Lennox equipment. Receive up to a $1,000 rebate or up to a 10-year extended warranty with the purchase of qualifying Dave Lennox Signature Collection Home Comfort Systems from Comfort Solutions by Banks. Offer expires May 31st, 2004. One offer per qualifying installation. Lennox, making your home a better place. Lennox dealers include independently owned and operated businesses. See your participating Lennox dealer, Comfort Solutions by Banks, for details.
Well, this game moves into the top of the sixth inning. It's being played at breakneck pace, 4-2 Kernels, and standing in is the number 2 hitter, Peter Ramos from Venezuela. He takes inside, ball 1. Ramos, 1 for 2 tonight, has driven in one of the 2 Wizard runs. Right-handed batter. Strike on the inside corner from Abel Marino. 1 ball, 1 strike to the right-handed hitter. A lot of hitting room up the middle for Ramos as Wood, and here's a drive, looper into right, a base hit. Peter Ramos stroked it the other way, and he has the 6th hit of the game for the Fort Wayne Wizards, a leadoff single here in the top of the 6th inning. 4-2 Kernels. As we do during all of our home broadcasts here on the Zone, we give you a chance to earn a certificate, a $5 gift certificate to the Springhouse Family Restaurant by answering the Springhouse Family Restaurant baseball trivia question. We'll have it for you as we go along here in the top of the 6th. The number 3 hitter, Brian Walbrink, has popped to second and struck out. Lester Schmitz of the Springhouse called very excited late last week. He said, John, could you share some new excitement about our roasted chicken dinner on the Springhouse Family Restaurant baseball trivia question? I said, you bet, Lester. And what Lester wanted me to remind you of is that in yesterday's Gazette and today's Penny Saver, there's a coupon, which if you redeem at the Springhouse, you'll get a 4-piece roasted chicken dinner, buy 1, get 1 half price. Now that's quite a deal at the Springhouse. Look in today's Penny Saver for the coupon or yesterday's Gazette. A curve floats in for a strike to Brian Walbrink. Our ground rules are easy. If you've been one of our 13 previous Springhouse Family Restaurant baseball trivia question winners, play along wherever you're tuned in, but please don't call in. Please don't call in. And another throw to first, the runner back. We'll have our Springhouse trivia question for you in just a moment. Our right-hander is warming up for the Wizards in their left field bullpen. 4-2 Kernels, top of the 6th inning. Walbrink on an 0-1 pitch. Rips it into left field in front of Nick Kimpton. That's the hit. And down to second goes Peter Ramos. Oh, the tying runs are on. That ball was hit like a bullet. Brian Walbrink, with his first hit, sends Peter Ramos safely into second. And now Jordan Perkins will likely bunt as the cleanup batter. Nothing doing in the Colonel bullpen. All right, our special guest from Alternative Services for Iowa's Youth and Families is standing by the phone to answer your guesses to the Springhouse Family Restaurant baseball trivia question. Let's have at it. What relief ace is the only pitcher in the Hall of Fame with a losing record? What relief ace, he pitched from 1968 to 1985, is the only pitcher in the Hall of Fame with a losing record? That's our Springhouse Family Restaurant baseball trivia question. Is Pickens bunting? No. Strike 1 called on the outside corner. What relief ace is the only pitcher in the Hall of Fame with a losing record? Call us now at 896-7589. 896-7589 with your chance to earn a $5 gift certificate to the Springhouse. The 0-1. Low and away, ball 1. We're fielding your calls with your guesses. Jordan Pickens has struck out and walked tonight. Ramos at second, Walbrink at first. Now the 1-1. Low and away, a throw to first. The runner just got back. Ooh, Bobby Wilson whipping a throw down to first. Almost got Brian Walbrink. The Colonel 4-2 lead is in jeopardy here as Abel Marino slows it down. We're going to have good news momentarily about a winner in the Springhouse Family Restaurant baseball trivia question. But first, the 2-1 to the cleanup man. Swing and a miss, a curve, and Abel Marino had Jordan Pickens way out in front. Now the deuces are wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 on, no one out. The Kernels have a right-hander up in their bullpen, Aaron Pullen. Now the 2-2 is low in the dirt. The runners will try to advance. A throw to third. Out at third! Out at third! We're taking the name, address, and zip code of our Springhouse Family Restaurant Baseball Trivia Question winner. Peter Ramos is cut down 2-5. What a huge play. Brian Walbrink held at first base. Wow, what a huge play. Jordan Pickens now batting with 1 out and a runner at first. That was a huge play by Bobby Wilson. The runner goes. A pitch dribble foul towards the Fort Wayne dugout. The count remains 3-2 to Jordan Pickens. It sounds like we have good news, and we'll deliver it in just a little bit here in the 6th inning. On the Springhouse Family Restaurant Baseball Trivia Question front. The runner at first goes. A swing and a miss. A throw to second. Safe. A stolen base for Brian Walbrink, but a huge strikeout for the second out of the 6th inning. Jordan Pickens fans, Walbrink with his 5th steal of the year, was running on the 3-2 pitch. Our Springhouse Family Restaurant Baseball Trivia Question asks, what relief ace is the only pitcher in the Hall of Fame with a losing record? And we had a caller identify that relief ace as Raleigh Fingers. Raleigh Fingers. And Jessica, our guest from Alternative Services, took the call. And Jessica, we had a Chris, and I believe that's pronounced Brianne. Okay, I'll tell you what. Chris, we have Sonia back up here who can kind of step right in with Jessica. Chris, Brianne, it's very difficult to hear here in the broadcast booth, Chris. Could you call us back at 896-7589? Uh-oh, a deep drive to right could tie the game. It is out of here. Oh, a 2-out, 2-run homer by Fernando Valenzuela Jr., a 2-out, 2-run homer by Fernando Valenzuela Jr., and we are tied. We are tied 4-4 here in the 6th inning. Again, it is so difficult to hear here in the booth that we're just double-checking with our Springhouse Family Restaurant Baseball Trivia Question winner to make sure everything is copacetic. There's Aaron Pullen still warming up in the Colonel bullpen. What a huge home run by Fernando Valenzuela Jr. to tie this game in the 6th inning at 4. Now a strike on the outside corner to George Gutierrez. An unexpected blow by Fernando Valenzuela Jr. And we think we have the pronunciation of our Springhouse Family Restaurant Baseball Trivia Question. It's a very unusual last name, that's for sure. Raleigh Fingers, the answer to our Springhouse Family Restaurant Baseball Trivia Question. And boy, Jessica, you did real well. His name is Chris Bierman, Bierman. Here's a shot into left, another hit, and that is the 4th hit of the inning for the Wizards, who've tied the game at 4. That may be it for Abel Marino. Well, Jessica, where does Chris live? Where did he call from?
Monticello, Iowa.
Wow, we must be coming in loud and clear at Monticello. Well, congratulations, Chris Bierman. You've earned a $5 gift certificate from the Springhouse. Raleigh Fingers, a record of 114 and 118, yet he had 341 saves in his 17-year career. A Hall of Famer, Raleigh Fingers. Strike one called on the outside corner. Well, Jessica, you can see how we don't have quite the support and all the extra people here in the booth as Channel 9 probably has. I'm not sure. Does Denny Frary and all the rest of the people at Channel 9, you obviously help them. How many other people help them to get that weathercast on the air each and every hour or every night?
We have We have lots of people that go down there. I don't know everybody there, but
well, I bet you for one of Denny's weather forecasts, at least 5 people help him.
He has one person that does the camera, and then there's me behind him, and, and then he does the rest of it. So.
Well, he's the master. Do you know that more people know who Denny Frary is than know who Governor Vilsack is?
Probably.
That's how powerful Denny is, what a figure he is. A strike to the batter, it's 2-2. This has been some inning for the Wizards. They've tied it on 4 hits. I thought we were out of the inning when Bobby Wilson gunned out Peter Ramos for the first out of the inning, but Fernando Valenzuela hit a 2-run homer. A 2-2 pitch, and that one hit the umpire, or something hit the umpire. Did the ball hit the umpire? I didn't see it, Jessica. The crowd oohed and ahed, and Bobby Wilson is going out to the mound to let Darren Badon recover from what I guess was a foul ball off his mask. Boy, that's a dangerous job umpiring behind home plate. Yeah, Raleigh Fingers had a losing record, but he was elected into the Hall of Fame, justifiably so, in 1992. Pitched with Oakland, the Padres, and the Brewers. Hall of Famer Raleigh Fingers. The 2-2. A high pop foul behind the plate. Bobby Wilson has it to end the inning. Hey, Greg Ochi fouls out 10 feet behind the plate to end the inning. But Fort Wayne strikes for 2 runs on 4 hits. There were no Kernel errors, and the Wizards leave a runner. They've stranded 3. Well, we're going to wrap things up with our special guest, Jennifer, in the bottom of the 6th. She's been awfully kind to stay this long and help us with the Springhouse Family Restaurant trivia question, tell us about the behind-the-scenes nature of putting a weathercast on television on KCRG TV9. And Jennifer, we'll wrap things up with you in the bottom of the 6th so that you can kind of learn some more. I want you to talk to Sonia, who's our right-hand person here every night. You can ask her some of her duties, but we'll say a few more words with you in the bottom of the 6th and then turn you loose. How's that sound?
That's fine.
Okay, we go to the bottom of the 6th, and the Kernels and Wizards are tied 4-4. You're listening to Kernel Baseball on the Zone.
Any high school athlete can be the next TV9 Cedar Rapids Dodge Athlete of the Week. First, nominate your athlete Saturday through Monday from any sport at any high school in the TV9 viewing area. Do it on the Zone1600.com, KCRG.com, or call Newsline 9 at 365-9999. 365-9999. See the weekly finals Tuesday on TV9 News at 6. Then vote for your favorite. Vote at the Zone1600.com, KCRG.com, or on Cityline. In Cedar Rapids, it's 363-7000. Check local listings for the number. Then enter category prep. That's category 7737. And finally, hear the winner with Scott Unash on game day here on the Zone. See the winner's gallery on the Zone1600.com. And meet the winner Thursday on TV9 News at 10. The TV9 Cedar Rapids Dodge Athlete of the Week on KCRG TV9 and here on the Zone ESPN Radio 1600 AM.
Pop quiz. Your teen is going to a party with lollipops, a pacifier, and toy angel wings. You think she's going to A. Play charades, B. Relive her childhood, C. Take a drug called ecstasy. Innocent-looking candy and toys are associated with the use of ecstasy, a drug that can cause brain damage, heart failure, and even death.
A message from the Partnership for a Drug-Free America and the Partnership for a Drug-Free Iowa.
Bobby Wilson steps into the first pitch from a new hurler for the Wizards, Leo Rosales, and he rips it into left for a leadoff single. The Kernels, Bobby Wilson, lines a single over the shortstop's head, and the Kernels have their 9th hit of the night in this 4-4 game. Sazi Guthrie is gone. He went 5 innings. He allowed 4 runs, all earned on 7 hits. He scanned 3, walked none, hit a batter. We're finishing up our chat with Jessica. Jessica, I'm sorry, in all the commotion and excitement, I referred you as Jennifer, and the first rule of broadcasting is to get it right, and I'm sorry.
That's fine.
Fastball is just tied to Matt Brown from right-hander Leo Rosales, Rosales. He had just joined the Wizards yesterday, and here he is pitching in relief in a 4-4 game. Let's see who's warming up for the Kernels in their right field bullpen. I believe it's Aaron Pullen. And if it is, it means Abel Marino is done. A strike to Matt Brown. And, yes, it is Aaron Pullen warming up in the Kernel bullpen. 1-1 to Brownie. The wind has subsided considerably. It's much calmer now on this beautiful 77-degree evening. Rosales reminds me a lot of our former right-hander from 2 years ago, Steve Andrade. A slider is outside from Leo, and it's 2-1 to Matt Brown. Go-ahead run at first. Bobby Wilson for the Kernels here in the bottom of the sixth inning. Well, Jessica, I can tell that your work at Channel 9 is a lot of fun for you. Do you look forward to going in every day, or are there days when you say, oh, it's going to be the same old, same old?
Oh, I love going in. They're so much fun down there.
Now, do you know my good friend Betty, who sits at the front desk? Betty is the receptionist right when you go in the front door.
Yes, I do know her.
Black hair?
Yes,
yeah,
I do know her.
Terrific lady.
Oh, yeah. That's the first person I say hi to as soon as I walk through the door.
Yes, that's Betty. The 2-1 to Brown is a strike at the knees, a fastball. Now, as far as next year, your senior year, do you think you'll return to Channel 9?
Yeah, I think I'll try to go in there again.
Good. Brownie, even on the count 2-2, he singled and grounded to second. Swing and a miss. A strikeout of Matt Brown by Leo Rosales. One gone in the Kernel sixth inning. 4-4 the score. Out to the hill goes George Kataris, the catcher. Well, one thing's for sure, Jessica, for a junior in high school, you have a lot of poise and moxie, and perhaps if you get this interest continuing to bloom, do you think you'd like to be in front of the camera or behind the microphone as an air talent, or would you like to be behind the scenes?
I think I wouldn't mind being on camera, but I also like to be behind the scenes, too.
Well, they're both equally important. Caleb takes a slider from Rosales, a strike called. Leo Rosales, a round-shouldered, thick-legged right-hander, on in relief for starter Sazi Guthrie. Neither starter will figure in tonight's decision. Caleb lays off a pitch low and away for ball one. 1-1 to Caleb Mayer. The Kernels have been out hit 9-8. Abel Marino surrendering a 2-run homer to Fernando Valenzuela Jr. to tie the game in the last inning. Ooh, Caleb looked like he went around on a pitch down the way, but apparently held up. Abel Marino in 6 innings struck out 6, surrendered 9 hits, 4 runs, and he only walked 1 man. Ball 3 in the dirt to Caleb Mayer. Aaron Pullen has completed his warm-up tosses, and he comes in to the first base Kernel dugout. Well, Jessica, if you could say a few words about alternative services, it seems like it's been a good fit for you, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's all right.
Good, good. Well, that's great. From a teenager, all right is a ringing endorsement to me. A ground ball, base hit into left by Caleb Mayer. That's the 9th hit of the night for the Kernels. Caleb's first hit was hit sharply into the hole left side, and down to second goes Bobby Wilson. First and second, 1 out. Nick Kempton is just the guy you want up in this situation. He has such good speed, he's likely to stay out of a double play, and Nick is very adept at going the other way in these situations. Let's see if Kempton can give the Kernels the lead back here in the bottom of the 6th in a 4-4 tussle with Fort Wayne. First and second, 1 out. A looper off the end of the bat onto the lawn section, foul ball, strike 1. Jessica, as far as the everyday work in the, do they call it the TV9 Weather Lab where you work?
KCRT.
Yes.
Yeah, they do. They call it the Weather Lab.
Do you think a lot of people are either enthralled with the weather or they kind of get ho-hum about it? A shot to down the left field side, out of play, strike 2 to Kempton. Does something as everyday and, quote, mundane as the weather, to me, it is fascinating because it's virtually different every day.
Yes, it is.
You just never know. Wind gusts, rises and fall in temperatures. And in Iowa, as I said, a lot of folks live by the weather. Uh-oh, a high pop-up into left center should be the second out of the inning. The shortstop back, and the left fielder in, and Casey Baker has it. Nick Kimpton on an 0-2 pitch flies to shallow left, 2 gone in the Kernels' 6th inning. Center fielder, Cosby. Do some of the weather folks get pretty gussied up in terms of a wardrobe?
Yeah, they kind of have to if they're going on air, though.
That's what I thought.
The
now,
makeup and everything.
They even have makeup?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my goodness. No wonder they look... No, I'm just kidding. They look great. They look great on TV9. What I'm kidding about is I don't have the face for television just because that's why I enjoy radio. Nobody can see my mug. Quan is 3 for 3 with 3 of the 4 Kernel runs scored. He has had a dynamite night at the plate. Ball 2 is low to Quan Cosby. We're wrapping up a wonderful mid-inning chat with Jessica from Alternative Services for Iowa's Youth and Families. And she's been a terrific young person to join us here tonight. 2 on, 2 out. A curve, a strike to Quan. Boy, this guy, Leo Rosales, reminds me so much of Steve Andrade. Thick, muscular legs. Right-hander who can break a curveball off the table. Quan lifts one foul down the left field side, out of play. And the count now to the Kernel leadoff batter, who's 3 for 3, is 2-2. Bobby Wilson, the go-ahead run at second. Caleb Mayer at first. We wrap up this 4-game series at noon tomorrow. Watch Denny's forecast tonight on TV9, and I bet he'll say, go on out to the ballpark, noontime temperature of 75 degrees. Jessica, wouldn't that be very inviting for people?
Yes, it would be.
Oh, 75 degrees and sunshine, I'll take it.
It's very beautiful down here.
Oh, it's gorgeous tonight. A foul off the facade of the grandstand roof. It's still 2-2 to Cosby. Bobby Wilson at second, Caleb Mayer at first. Bottom of the 6th inning, Kernels 4, Fort Wayne 4. Ball 3 down and in to the Kernel leadoff batter. Leo Rosales. Originally, we were told he was going to start tonight's game, but here he is in relief. And the payoff pitch, the runners go! Swing and a foul. Boy, Quan Cosby's seen the ball well. You'll hear players allude to that quite often. I'm seeing the ball well. And that's what Quan is doing here tonight. Bobby Wilson back to second. Caleb Mayer returns to first. In the bottom of the 3rd inning, Leo Rosales from Cal State Northridge. 6 foot 1 inch right-hander. Strike 3 call, the slider. Quan didn't like the call, but he's gone on strikes. The Kernels squander a couple of hits and fail to retake the lead here in the 6th inning. No runs, 2 base hits, no Fort Wayne errors. The Kernels strand a pair and have left 4. We go to the top of the 7th with the score tied at 4. Jessica, thank you so much, and you're welcome back anytime because we're partners with KCRG. We're KCRG, the radio side.
Yes, we are.
Jessica, thank you.
You're welcome.
We go to the top of the 7th, Kernels 4, Wizards 4. You're listening to Kernel Baseball on the Zone.
For more than 70 years, Rockwell Collins has been dedicated to providing innovative and dependable radiation electronics and communication solutions worldwide. We also bring a dedication of excellence to our communities to help ensure growth and prosperity. The long-standing partnership between Rockwell Collins and the Kernels is one way we're enhancing the quality of life in our community and making Cedar Rapids the best place to live and work. Rockwell Collins and the Cedar Rapids Kernels, partners on and off the field.
Benjamin Franklin once said,
"Glass, china, and reputation are easily cracked, but never well mended.
At Benjamin Franklin, the Punctual Plumber, we believe you deserve respect for favoring us with your business. We'll never forget that. That's why we do our best to give you service so special you'll want to tell your friends about it. We believe that honesty is the best policy. Benjamin Franklin said so.
You know it.
Our plumber will arrive at your house fully uniformed. You never have to wonder or fear who's at your door, because only the few, the best, and the talented can wear the Benjamin Franklin uniform. Our simple pricing system takes the panic out of calling a plumber. We give you the options first, and you grant approval before we do the work. There are never any surprises.
Splendid.
When we say we'll be there, or we'll give you a Benjamin Franklin, a $100 bill.
Benjamin Franklin, the Punctual Plumber.
A U.S. Cellular call to the Colonel bullpen brings in right-hander Aaron Pullen. Abel Marino cannot win his second game of the year. In 6 innings, he surrendered 4 runs, all earned on 9 hits. He fanned 6 and walked 1 and threw a wild pitch. Aaron Pullen, a 23-year-old right-hander from Texas, Arlington, lives in Midland, Texas, the hometown of our president, George Bush, and his wife, Laura. Aaron Pullen last worked Sunday in a Kernel victory in Grand Rapids. And he'll face Drew Macias. This guy has torn us up. 5 extra base hits in the series, and Pullen gets ahead with a strike called at the knees. Aaron in relief of Abel Marino. The 0-1 to the left-handed batter is a changeup in the dirt, ball 1. Here's a drive into right and a shoestring catch by Blake Balcom. The Wizards have hit practically everything hard tonight. Drew Macias hit that one right on the nose, but lines out to Blake Balcom. 1 out in the top of the 7th, a 4-4 game. Aaron Pullen, a right-hander, is on out of the Kernel bullpen here in the 7th with a 2-1 record, an ERA of just over 7. This is his 9th appearance, 16 innings pitched, and he's given up 20 hits in 16 innings, struck out 13, walked 7. Now with 1 out, Pullen misses outside to Skip Adams, the right-handed hitting shortstop. Halo happenings, results from around the Anaheim Angel organization, brought to us by Kernel Marketing and Public Relations Director Mike Kuhlbeck. Ball 2 to the number 9 hitter. Our parent club, the Anaheim Angels, mauled the Tigers 11-4 in Southern California last night. Former Kernel catcher Benji Molina hit a 3-run homer. A drive into the left field corner for extra bases. That's the 10th of the night for the Wizards. Nick Kimpton will throw to second, offline, and a sliding double by the number 9 hitter Skip Atkins. Oh, it's been a double rama for the Wizards here tonight. How many doubles for Fort Wayne? 1, 2, 3, 4 doubles for the Wizards. And they have the tying run at second with 1 out and Casey Baker at the plate. Former Kernel lefty Jared Washburn notched his 5th win of the season for the Angels last night. The AAA Angel affiliate, Salt Lake, lost to Portland 5-3. Former Kernel right-hander from Canada, Steve Green, took the loss. He's 3-3. Ball 1 to left-handed hitting Casey Baker. He's doubled in a run and scored tonight, 1 for 3. 292 hitter, no homers, 8 RBIs. Tying run at second, Skip Adams. Aaron's 1-0 is a 1-hopper to Howie Kendrick. The runner goes to third, and Kendrick flips to first to get the speedy Casey Baker. It went 4-3, and the tying run at third with 2 outs for Peter Ramos. He led off the 6th inning with a base hit, had an RBI single in the 3rd. He's 2 for 3. Double-A Arkansas in 11 innings outlasted El Paso 10-9. Former Colonel Dallas McPherson had 4 hits. Brent Del Chiaro had 3 hits. 2 former Colonels doing very well. A curve, a strike call to the right-handed batter, Peter Ramos. Former Colonel Tommy Murphy hit a home run. And former Colonel right-hander Mark O'Sullivan got the win in relief. A little Texas League looper into right center. On the run, Quan Cosby has it. Peter Ramos stroked it off the end of the bat. I thought it was a sure hit when it left his lumber, but Quan Cosby raced to his left and made the running catch to end the Fort Wayne 7th. No runs for the Wizards in the 7th. One hit, a one-out double. Their 4th of the night. No Colonel errors. Fort Wayne leaves a runner, their 4th left of the evening. 7th inning stretch, New Veterans Memorial Stadium. The Colonels and Wizards tied at 4. You're listening to Colonel Baseball on the Zone.
When we met, expected we would never forget the Ojanos. Now it's where mi amore and I and in we carry out the lunch and the dinner all the time for lasagna, ravioli, mandacati, cannelloni, tortellini, or try their delicious salads and sub sandwiches too. The Ojanos is the hometown taste of Italy. For your next meal with friends and a family, remember the Ojanos with 5 convenient locations for the pasta that makes you sing.
People say that I can't decide things. They are so wrong, but I could be wrong about that.
A U.S. Bank check card with checking that pays gives you a choice of rewards, like cash, points for merchandise and gift certificates, World Perks miles, or even sweepstakes entries.
Easy decision. I'll take the cat. No, it's a sweep.
Sign up at your local U.S. Bank or call 1-800-720-BANK.
I've made up my mind to put off my decision. That is final.
U.S. Bank.
No, wait.
See banker for complete details. Member FDIC.
ESPN Radio plays the hits.
Drilled deep down the left field line. It is gone.
All kind of hits.
A swing and a base hit in left field.
The hits of Major League Baseball.
Pitch swung on, grounded out to second. Back to first for the 4-6-3 double play. Nicely done.
Major League Baseball on ESPN Radio.
Fun crowd consisting of alternative services for Iowa's youth and families. Bob Bunce was here earlier, so was Jessica, and a huge crowd of over 600 in the plaza, the Papa John's Plaza, down the right field line from Northland Schools, and a lefty, Jake Upwood. He also, like starter Sazi Guthrie out of Division III Ithaca College in New York, Jake Upwood, a 23-year-old southpaw, on the hill. And he'll face Howie Kendrick, Brandon Wood, and Matt Pauley here in the bottom of the 7th inning, a 4-4 ball game. A strike heaved in from the left-hander to Howie Kendrick, playing even with the base at third, and near the line is Greg Bochy. Outfield plays Kendrick deep and straight away. Howie is 1 for 3 tonight. Curve high and away from the lefty. Jake Upwood has had a good season thus far. This is his 12th appearance out of the Wizard bullpen, a 1-0 record, and an earned run average of 2.92. Kendrick muscles one foul into the screen, strike 2. In 12 1/3 innings, this hurler has given up 4 runs on 10 hits. He's fanned 12 and walked 4. Jake Upwood, UPOOD. Takes a deep breath, winds, and delivers. Low and in, a curveball to Howie. Upwood is the second relief pitcher in as many innings for Randy Reddy and his Fort Wayne Wizards. Howie, a right-handed hitter. Backs away from a pitch low and in, ball 3. Upwood pitched in the Independent League ranks last year. He pitched in Lincoln, Nebraska, and in Gary, Indiana. So he came over to the Padre organization with the starter, Sazi Guthrie. Here's the payoff pitch to Kendrick. A looper past the mound into center. That's the 10th Colonel hit of the night. And Howie Kendrick's 6th hit of the series. Howie Kendrick punched one just out of the outstretched glove of lefty Jake Upwood into center. And here in the bottom of the 7th, the Colonels have the leadoff man aboard. The question becomes, does Brandon Wood try to lay a bunt down here in the bottom of the 7th to get the go-ahead run to second, or do the Colonels hit and run? That's another option with that big hole on the right side of the Wizard infield. The question has been answered, however. Wood squares the bunt and takes the pitch low, ball 1. Halo happenings, Rancho Cucamonga, the Angel single-A affiliate in the Cal League, was beaten by Lancaster last night 10-5. John Toledo took the loss. He's 1-3. Wood fails on a bunt attempt. He tipped it foul at the feet of the catcher, strike one. John Toledo 1-3 with Rancho Cucamonga. Former Colonel Jason Sugden had 2 hits for the Quakes. And that brings you up to speed on Halo happenings, results from around the Anaheim Angel organization. A throw to first, and Howie Kendrick scampers back standing up. Kernels 4, Wizards 4, bottom of the 7th inning. A throw to first, the runner back safely. We should have our attendance count at any time now. And we're very eager to hear if we've cracked that 1,400 mark. A bunt by Brandon Wood and a successful sacrifice. The pitcher, Upwood, had to dash towards the first baseline, and then he shoveled an underhand to the first baseman, and the sacrifice is a beauty by Brandon Wood. Remember, Bobby Wilson's sacrifice bunt in the Colonel 5-run 7th last night, I thought was the key to the whole inning. Well, has Brandon Wood's sacrifice bunt set up a big inning, or at least a chance for the Colonels to recapture the lead here? Let's hope so. Matt Pauley, one of our best clutch hitters, now stands in. Ball one way high to Matt Pauley. Reliever Leo Rosales went 1 inning, the bottom of the 6th. He gave the Colonels no runs, 2 hits, 2 strikeouts, no walks. Upwood from the belt. Swing and a miss by Matt Pauley. A pitch in on the inner half tied Matt in a pretzel. Neither starter will figure in tonight's decision. Go ahead run at second. Strike 2 called to left-handed hitter Matt Pauley, and it's 1-2. We'll check the State Farm Major League scoreboard during this latter third of the game. Nothing final yet, but plenty of games in the late going. Pauley in the hole. Takes a pitch in the dirt, and good base running by Howie Kendrick. He would have been a goner at third. The ball hit off the chest protector of George Kataris and then squirted 10 feet to the left of the plate. Kataris had the play right in front of him, and I'm telling you, that was some good base running judgment by Howie Kendrick. Had he tried to go to third, he would have been out. He took a couple of quick steps towards third and then slammed the brakes on. It's 2-2 to Matt Pauley. Up and in goes ball 3. State Farm Major League scoreboard brought to you by State Farm Insurance agents Lanny Peterson, Al Shetler, Gary Shubat, and Dale Thompson. They're in the top of the 9th at Olympic Stadium. Colorado leads the Expos 2-0. Pauley with a chance to give the Colonels the lead on a 3-2 delivery. Strike, ball 4. Ball 4. Where was that pitch? That's what the Wizards want to know. It's apparently low. Pauley, with a very keenly honed batting eye, took it for ball 4. He joins Howie Kendrick aboard. Now Blake Balcom is the man on the spot for the Colonels. The Marlins lead the Dodgers in Miami 2-0 with L.A. batting in the 9th inning. They're in the bottom of the 8th at Turner Field. The Padres, the parent club of these Wizards, on top of Atlanta, 1-0 down in Dixie. Blake Balcom had 2 hits last night. He has 1 hit and 3 trips tonight. Right-handed hitter. Facing lefty Jake Upwood for the first time. A strike on the outside corner, letter I. At Citizens Bank Park in Philadelphia, in the bottom of the 8th, the Phillies lead the Redbirds 5-4. They're delayed at Shea Stadium in the 6th inning. An official game, 2-2, the Giants and Mets, delayed by rain at Shea. The runners go! A pitch high, the throw to second. Safe! Matt Pauley safe. So's Howie Kendrick. A double steal for the rampaging Kernels. A double steal for the Kernels. Howie Kendrick was the lead on that double steal, the front end. Matt Pauley appeared to get a late break, but the catcher, George Kataris, kind of lobbed his throw to second. He didn't have much steam on it. They're in the bottom of the 7th at Great America Ballpark with Milwaukee leading the Reds 4-3. At Wrigley Field, bottom of the 5th, Arizona 1, the Cubs nothing. Houston is trailing at home to Pittsburgh 2-1 Pirates. Now they're going to walk Blake Balcom. This crowd may boo. They're going to walk Blake Balcom to load the bases. There's ball 2. Now ball 3. Ooh, that was almost a strike. That ball almost went over the plate. Balcom could have swung at it. Blake sharing a chuckle with the plate umpire. Blake Balcom could have swung at that last pitch. Now the lefty overcompensates and throws one way outside. All right, they're loaded up for Bobby Wilson. Now in the American League on the State Farm Major League scoreboard, Boston in the throes of a mini tailspin. They lead Cleveland at Jacobs Field 8-5 in the 6th inning. Bottom of the 7th at Camden Yards, the White Sox 5, the Orioles 4. Top of the 9th at Skydome, the Blue Jays pounding the Royals 10-3. First pitch to Wilson. A high fly ball down the line and right. I don't know if it's deep enough. Walbrink has it. We've got to play at the plate, and the runner is safe. A sacrifice fly by Bobby Wilson produces the lead run. Howie Kendrick from third. First pitch swinging. Bobby Wilson lifted it into right. I didn't know if he hit it out there far enough, but he sure did. He got Howie Kendrick home from third to break a 4-4 tie. How about that, Bobby Wilson? All the Kernels needed from him was a fly ball. Easier said than done. Bobby Wilson delivers with a sacrifice fly here in the bottom of the 7th to put the Kernels up 5-4. Now with 2 out and runners at first and second, Matt Brown takes the pitch low. Matt Brown could make it a big inning for the Kernels. Strike one on the inside corner. State Farm Major League scoreboard, American League, top of the 5th at the ballpark in Arlington. The Rangers won, the Devil Rays nothing. Later tonight, Minnesota and Seattle at Safeco Field. Oakland hosts the Yankees, and our parent club, the Angels, will entertain the Tigers. A pitch in the dirt, and what a block by George Kataris to prevent a wild pitch. A noon start tomorrow. The gates open at 11, and the dugout interview tomorrow morning at 11:40. 11:40 dugout interview time tomorrow. Matt Brown, 1 for 3 tonight, singled his first time up. He takes the fastball high, and he's ahead 3-1. Jake Upwood, the third hurler of the night, used by the Wizards. 5-4 Kernels here in the bottom of the 7th inning. 10 hits for each club. Oh, Matt Brown nubs one foul, and that one up into the first base premier seats above the Kernel dugout. Everybody appears to be all right. Brownie entered tonight's game batting .224, 1 home run, 13 RBIs for Matt Brown. This crowd is coming alive. You can probably hear them in the background. Pauly at second, Balcom at first. A run on the 3-2 pitch and a swing and a miss by Matt Brown. He goes down on strikes. In the 7th for the Kernels, 1 run on 1 hit. A double steal helped produce the run. 2 walks, no 4 point errors. The Kernels strand a pair and have left 6 after 7. 5-4 Kernels. You're listening to Kernel Baseball on the Zone.
ESPN Radio plays the hits.
Drill deep down the left field line. It is gone.
All kind of hits.
A swing of base hit in the left field.
The hits of Major League Baseball.
Swung up, grounded out to second. Back to first for the 4-6-3 double play. Nicely done.
Major League Baseball on ESPN Radio.
Saturday morning. It's over easy as Scott Unash dishes up the Hy-Vee Coaches Corner here on The Zone. It's a hearty helping of local sports coverage from the Metro and beyond. All the latest prep news, the way only Scott can serve it up, cooked up live from this week's featured Cedar Rapids Marion Hy-Vee Kitchen. Get your Saturday breakfast special by tuning in to the Hy-Vee Coaches Corner, live from the Hy-Vee Kitchen at 3600 Highway 151 East in Marion. Only here on The Zone.
Hello, Eastern Iowa. This is Doug Worthen with Carousel Ford of Iowa City, and we'd like to thank you, our customer, for making us the #1 auto retailer in Johnson County and all of Eastern Iowa. So we are doing just that. In a true effort to show our commitment to you, Carousel Ford of Iowa City will soon be opening our new state-of-the-art facility on the corner of 218 and Highway 1 on Mormon Track. Come let us show you how we'll earn your business the good old American way. Fair, simple, and honest. Carousel Ford, 217 Stevens Drive, next to the Waterfront Hy-Vee. Soon to be on the corner of 218 and Highway 1 on Mormon Track in Iowa City.
It's the Kernels 5 and the Wizards 4 as we go to the top of the 8th inning. Fort Wayne is the Class A Midwest League affiliate of the San Diego Padres, and our Kernel of Wisdom concerns the sparkling new stadium that the Wizards parent team plays in out in Southern California. One of the nicest cities I've ever visited. Sunny San Diego. 72 degrees and sunny virtually every day of the year out in San Diego. And our Kernel of Wisdom, did you know that there's a 2.5-acre park attached to Petco Park? They call it the Park at the Park. It's a ticketed area, an integral part of the ballpark experience on game days. It serves as a special events venue and a neighborhood park when the Padres aren't playing at home. What a wonderful design feature of Petco Park, building a park right outside the right field wall. The last ballpark, big leagues that had a park immediately beyond the outfield fence, was Old Forbes Field in Pittsburgh. A ground ball to Brandon Wood, and Aaron Pullen retires Brian Walbrink to start the top of the 8th inning on a bouncer to short. 1 out, and the Kernels leading 5-4. Let's see who that man is in the Kernel bullpen. Perhaps Von David Sturzbach, but we'll have to get glasses on that to determine it. It is Von David Sturzbach. Well, thanks to the great folks at Alternative Services for Youth and the North Lynn schools, they're still jam-packed in the Papa John's Plaza. 1,719 on this 77-degree night. The 1-0 pitch to Pickens is a slider, a strike called. Jordan is struck out, walked, and struck out. Boy, I can't wait. Someday I want to see that Petco Field in the East Village neighborhood of downtown San Diego. Strike 2 called to the batter from Aaron Pullen. I never got to see Jack Murphy Stadium, the former Qualcomm Stadium. I think it's still standing. I think San Diego State and the Chargers will still play there. A slider low and away, and it's 2-2 to the cleanup batter. Von David Sturzbach warming up in the Kernel right field bullpen. 1,719 watching this one. Strike 3 called. Aaron Pullen on a slider at the knees on the inside corner. Hits the cleanup batter, Jordan Pickens, and there are 2 gone here in the Wizards' 8th inning. Well, here's a dangerous hitter, Fernando Valenzuela Jr. His 2-run homer with 2 out in the top of the 6th inning off of starter Abel Marino tied the game at 4. Fernando Valenzuela Jr. takes the slider low. Ball 1. Remember the thrill we had last year when the Beloit Snappers came in? They had Prince Fielder, the son of 3-time RBI champ in the American League, Big Daddy Cecil Fielder, and they had the son of Tony Gwynn Jr. A strike called to Valenzuela Jr. This Wizard team has rich bloodlines, Fernando Valenzuela Jr. and their third baseman, Greg Bochy. Ball 2 missed inside to the left-handed batter. The 2-1 from Pullen. Swing and a miss, a change-up, and the bottom fell out of it. And now the count even 2-2 to Fernando Valenzuela Jr. Juan Cosby is playing this batter to pull in right center field. Now the 2-2 from Pullen. Tapped foul behind the plate, a curveball. 1,719. Now time is called. And the batter steps out. 5-4 Kernels, the hits even at 10 apiece on this warm, glorious Wednesday evening. Fernando Valenzuela Jr. takes a pitch just low, ball 3 from Aaron Pullen. In relief of the starter, Abel Marino. Bases empty, 2 out. Top of the 8th, and the full count delivery. Tap to first, and behind the bag, Matt Pauley with the nifty pickup. Steps on the base to end the inning. Aaron Pullen with 2 shutout innings in relief of Abel Marino. Fernando Valenzuela Jr. grounded one past the bag at first for Matt Pauley. Down in order go the Wizards in the top of the 8th inning. And after 7.5, the Kernels holding a 5-4 advantage over Fort Wayne. You're tuned to Kernel Baseball on the Zone.
Kernels fans, your Cedar Rapids Taco Bell restaurants have something new for you to cheer about this season. A Taco Bell 10 spot. When the Kernels score 10 or more runs in any game this season, you'll score beef tacos for just 39 cents the very next day at any Cedar Rapids Taco Bell. That's a savings of 50 cents per taco. Limit 10 per customer. Remember, when the Kernels put up a Taco Bell 10 spot by plating 10 or more runs in any game, you get up to 10 39-cent beef tacos the very next day at any Cedar Rapids Taco Bell.
Still of Mexico, her voice soars above a sweet Spanish guitar. And the hair like Dr. Pepper, originality made her a star. The taste of Dr. Pepper, the taste of originality, the rich individuality, and gives life a personality. Be you, do what you do. Be you, and it's better, that's better. And then you found a stage, a child came of age with a song of passion from the heart, and everyone could tell Anna Gabrielle was an original from the start. The taste of Dr. Pepper, the taste of originality, the individuality, and give life a personality. You do what you do. Be you, nothing's better, don't you ever. Be you, do what you do. Be you, nothing's better, don't you ever.
Caleb Mayer was the leadoff batter. He's hit into a double play, struck out looking, and singled tonight. Caleb to face lefty Jake Upwood for the first time. Ball 1 outside. Von David Sturzbach may come in to pitch the top of the 9th. He'd sure like to have more than a 1-run lead to work with. The lefty misses low, ball 2 to Caleb. 11:40 dugout interview time tomorrow morning. Will the Kernels be trying to make 3 out of 4 from the Wizards? Possibly. Strike, ball 3 high. Pretty good looking pitch from the lefty, but Caleb took it. He's ahead 3-0. Now, Bobby Magallanes, I bet, will turn Caleb loose. Caleb is a very, very good hitter with the 3-0 count. He took a strike on the outside corner. Caleb still ahead 3-1. Walks. Ball 4 outside. That's just the start we were hoping for. Nick Kempton is nothing for 3 tonight. He'll try to get the runner Caleb Mayer into scoring position, perhaps with a bunt. That's what Drake Bochy thinks might happen. He's cheating in on the edge of the grass at third for the speedster Kimpton. A throw to first. Caleb Mayer, very unlikely to be running. Caleb has a lot of strength, but speed isn't his greatest strength. He's a little below average with foot speed, and he'd readily admit that. But Caleb can add so much to a ball club with his versatility. He can play first, the outfield, DH. He's a tremendously hard-working young kid who has a great deal of potential in this game. A let-up is in the dirt. There goes Caleb Mayer. He's got good speed. He's into second, standing up on a wild pitch. Caleb Mayer scampered down to second, into scoring position. Boy, does that help. Now Nick Kimpton still may bunt to try to get that runner to third. Jake Underwood has uncorked a wild pitch. Strike called to Caleb, or to Nick Kimpton. 1-2. Lefty against lefty. The Kernels started play tonight in a three-way tie atop the Western Division first half standing, sharing that spot with Clinton and Kane County. A pitch in the dirt evens the count to Kimpton, 2-2. What did Clinton do tonight? They lost. They lost to Battle Creek 4-2. And how about Kane County? Kane County trailing Dayton in the fifth inning in Southern Ohio, 3-0. Did Kimpton go around on a high fastball? No, says the base umpire Timothy Dobb. And now the count full to Nick Kimpton. A huge insurance run at second here in the bottom of the eighth, 5-4 Kernels. Kimpton was in the hole, 1-2. Now Nick has run the count full. Southpaw brings it. Ball 4 high. Oh, now Quan Cosby will likely be bunting. Jake Underwood has walked the first two, or Jake Upwood rather, has walked the first two in this Kernel 8th inning. If the Kernels can hang on and win tonight, and if Dayton stays ahead of Kane County with Clinton having lost, the Kernels could start tomorrow morning in sole possession of first place in the Western Division first half standings. Quan Cosby is not bunting, and he takes a strike called. Everybody in the ballpark surprised that Quan was not bunting. The crowd is quieted in an eager anticipation to see if Quan can connect for his fourth hit of the night. First and second, nobody out. Is he bunting? Yes. And he bunts foul behind home plate. Strike two to Quan Cosby. Those kids from Northland schools are having a blast in the Papa John's Plaza, jumping up and down, and they follow every prompt from the Rockwell Collins Game Link. That, of course, orchestrated by the great crew from Metro Studios and our own Andy Pantini. The 0-2 to Quan. A double play ball to second. Oh, the second baseman drops it, throws to second, save! Everybody safe. It should have been a double play. Instead, an error committed by Peter Ramos. Oh, Quan hit a sharp ground ball. Ramos made a terrific play to his left. He gloved it, but then he dropped it, picked it up, and it may not be an error. Let's see. Sliding hard and... Now, I didn't hear the announcement. A fielder's choice, and let's see if there's an error charged on Peter Ramos. The bases are loaded for Howie Kendrick. He could break this thing wide open with a base hit. Ooh, a letter-high fastball. Ball one. Mayer at third, Kimpton at second. Quan Cosby has reached on a fielder's choice. No error charged to Peter Ramos, the second baseman. Ooh, Howie Kendrick rips one foul. And on that pitch, Lonnie Thorsten did not flinch. Lonnie did not flinch on that foul ball. Howie Kendrick on a 1-1 count with the bases loaded here in the bottom of the 8th, 5-4 Kernels. Ball 2 downstairs to Howie. Von David Sturzbach has stopped throwing in the Kernel bullpen, and he's watching the action as we are here. Plenty of action with the bases loaded. 2-1 from the lefty. High, ball 3 to Howie Kendrick, and now he should get something very good to hit. Strike 2 called, a borderline pitch inside corner at the letters, and the count full to Kendrick. It's 5-4 Kernels. Nobody out. Bottom of the 8th inning. Bases loaded. And a 3-2 pitch is on the way to the Kernel second baseman. And he lines it foul onto the Miller mezzanine terrace. The drama will continue to build here. Now an error has been charged to Peter Ramos. Kendrick loops a base hit into right. Base hit into right. 1 run is in. Caleb Mayer. Here comes Tipton. He scores standing up on a 2-run single. His 7th hit of the series for Howie Kendrick. And the Kernels have broken it open 7-4 here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Howie Kendrick, with his 7th hit of this series, stroked a single over the head of Peter Ramos at second. He was just charged with an error, and he brings home 2 runners, Mayer and Timpton, and makes it 7-4 Kernels. 7 hits in this series, 3 tonight for Howie Kendrick, and that does it for the lefty, John Upwood. A pitching change for the Fort Wayne Wizards as Upwood goes. Well, let's see. John pitched an inning, 1 inning. Chuck Bechtel, who pitched here last night, an inning, is on in relief. Upwood pitched 1 inning. So far, he's given up 3 runs on 2 hits. He struck out 1, and he walked 4. Now, Chuck Bechtel takes over. This right-hander pitched a scoreless inning out of the Wizard bullpen last night. The Kernels have runners at first and second with nobody out and have taken the lead on the 7th hit of this series by Howie Kendrick. A 2-run single over the second baseman's head to make it 7-4 Kernels. Remember, tomorrow, a noon start. The gates open at 11. And a lot of folks all spring long have been asking me as I go around the community, as we all go around the community from the front office, when's your first noon game? When's your first noon game? Well, the time has come. It's tomorrow. Chuck Bechtel from Marist College in New York, a scoreless inning last night. He struck out 2 Kernels. He's on in relief for fellow bullpenner Jake Upwood. And Bechtel's job will be to try to keep the Wizards within striking distance. They certainly are. They're down by 3, 7-4. Brandon Wood may be called upon to bunt in this situation. I think he will be bunting. The runners go! A pitch, a ball, the throw to third, not in time. Yet another double steal for the Kernels. Yet another double steal, this one led by Quan Cosby. Quan swipes third. The throw there was way late. I'm telling you, the Wizards kind of look like they're in some sort of sleepwalking funk right now, and that's not a criticism. They just don't look like they have a lot of spring in their step right now. The infield in for Brandon Wood. Strike one called on the outside corner. Brandon tonight is 0 for 2 with an RBI sacrifice bunt and an RBI sacrifice fly and a sacrifice bunt. The 1-1 to Brandon Wood. Outside, way outside, ball 2. From Chuck Bechtel, 15th round pick of the Padres. Last June, he was 2-0 in 17 games in relief for the Wizards a year ago with a sterling ERA of 1.48. Brandon tips one foul behind the plate to even the count, 2 balls, 2 strikes. 7-4 Kernels. Runners at second and third with nobody out. Oh, the Kernels could put this one away for all intents and purposes if Brandon Wood or the on-deck man, Matt Pauley, or even Blake Balcom. We hope we don't have to wait that long, but one of these 3 guys could really make it comfortable for the Kernels. Bechtel is set below the belt and the 2-2. Swing and a miss, a terrific slider from Chuck Bechtel, and you can't fault Brandon Wood. He was just over-consumed by that good pitch. Chuck Bechtel, 0-1 this year, with an ERA of just over 5, is pitching in his 14th game. He struck out 19 men in 17 innings, walked 15, and the league is hitting .309 against Chuck Bechtel. They're going to walk Matt Pauley. They're going to walk Pauley to load the bases. Matt has 2 RBIs tonight. He's been hit by a pitch, and he's walked, and he's stolen a base. Oh, well, there's ball 2. At first, I thought they were going to try a fast one and throw one down the plate. Even these intentional walks are an event. And I allude to this every season. There are those in baseball that, not in baseball, there are those that follow baseball that think, you should just say, I'm going to walk that guy. But that would be such a travesty because you never know what can happen on an intentional walk. Blake Balcom is the beneficiary. He'll bat with the bases loaded and 1 out. Can Blake Balcom break this thing wide open? 7-4 Kernels. We want to remind you that you're enjoying Kernel Baseball here on The Zone, ESPN Radio 1600, KCRG, Cedar Rapids, Iowa. I'm John Rogers. Deb Williams is our in-studio engineer. Strike one call to the right-handed hitting Blake Balcom. Von Sturzbach seems like he's been warming up out there in the right field bullpen for over an hour. He's back at it again. Swing and a miss by Blake on a slider, strike 2. Kernels have out-hit the opposition. The Wizards 11-10. Lead Fort Wayne 7-4. Again, an error has been charged on Peter Ramos on that ball hit by Quan Cosby earlier in this 8th inning. The 0-2 to the Kernel right-handed hitter Balcom. In the dirt, and it's blocked by George Kateros to save a run. The Kernel record is 15-10, 8-5 here in the new Veterans Memorial Stadium this season. After the noon game tomorrow, the first of 4 here at home against the Burlington Bees, Class A Midwest League affiliate of the Kansas City Royals. Burlington's record is 10-15. They're 5 games back of the first-place Kernels. Balcom still in the hole. Blake lifts one foul towards the Papa John's Plaza, and it's 3 rows up beyond the reach of first baseman Fernando Valenzuela Jr. A nice grab made out there by somebody from the North Lynn contingent, and a lifetime honorary Kernel contract and a free spaghetti dinner at Gio Giano's when that fan shows the baseball at the Blimpie Guest Services booth. Bases loaded, 1 out. 7-4 Kernels. They have scored 2 so far here in the 8th inning. Bechtel, a long look. A chopper to third, through the hole, base hit. 1 run is in. Here comes Kendrick. Ball cut off. 9-4 Kernels on a Blake Balcom 2-run single into the hole to the left of the third baseman, Greg Bochy. Past the outstretched arms of Skip Adams, a 2-run single for Blake Balcom, and hopefully that'll give the Kernels the insurance they so desperately sought here in this 8th inning. Blake Balcom on a 1-2 pitch, grounded one, chopped one to the left side. I thought Greg Bochy had a chance for it. He did not. He did not have a chance for it. And now Bobby Wilson takes low. Bobby's the 8th man to bat here in the Kernel 4-run 8th inning. Blake Balcom continues to hit well in the clutch for the Kernels. His 2-run single. A deep drive to center by Bobby Wilson way back in front of the track. It's hauled in by Drew Macias for the second out of the inning. Bobby Wilson really stepped into one and hit it to the deepest part of the ballpark in front of the warning track. Drew Macias made the grab for the second out of the inning. 9-4 Kernels here in the 8th inning. 2-run singles from Howie Kendrick and Blake Balcom. Matt Brown is 1 for 4. A deep drive into the left field corner for extra bases. Turning around third and scoring to make it 10-4 is Matt Pauley. Into third is Blake Balcom. And it's been a 5-run inning for the Kernels, who now lead it 10-5. Matt Brown, the 9th man to bat in the inning, rips a double into the left field corner. Driving in Matt Pauley, sending Blake Balcom to third. And that is a Taco Bell 10 spot. A Taco Bell 10 spot, 10-5, you know it, or 10-4, you know what that means. Tomorrow and tomorrow evening during the business day and night, tacos are just 39 cents, beef tacos at all Cedar Rapids Taco Bells, regularly 89 cents. A Taco Bell 10 spot. You have to let them know tomorrow and tomorrow night about the Taco Bell 10 spot. A Taco Bell 10 spot, 39-cent beef tacos tomorrow at Cedar Rapids Taco Bells. Ordinarily, those beef tacos are 89 cents. Dave Soper, I need your help. Dave Soper, I'm going to call after this inning. I'll call Michelle. Okay, thank you. 1-1 to Caleb Mayer. He got this whole thing started. When he walked. We are calling our contact at Taco Bell, Michelle Smith, to let her know about the Taco Bell 10 spot. All you need to do tomorrow is say that you're there because the Kernels scored 10 runs at all area Cedar Rapids Taco Bells, and you'll receive up to 10 beef tacos for just 39 cents. 10-4 Kernels here in the 8th inning. Bottom of the 8th, that is. Second and third, 2 out. Caleb Mayer takes a pitch high, ball 3. We are calling Michelle Smith and asking for the help of Dave Soper. Dave Soper is able to call his wife Bonnie, and we're trying to call Michelle Smith. Caleb bounces one to the shortstop, and Skip Adams has it. Throws in time to get Caleb Mayer. It went 6-3. The Kernels strike for 5 runs in the 8th inning on 4 hits, 1 huge Wizard error, and the Kernels leave a pair and have stranded 8. A Taco Bell 10 spot by virtue of a 5-run 8th as we go to the 9th. Kernels lead the Wizards 10-4. You're listening to Kernel Baseball on the Zone.
It's a good bet. Many of you have unwanted, perhaps now working, bulky items taking up space in your basement or garage. Well, now's the time to get rid of them during the annual bulky item cleanup in Cedar Rapids. The do's and don'ts are spelled out in a flyer you received in the mail recently. It lists the wood and plastic articles city crews will pick up when they come to your neighborhood. and explains how to dispose of unwanted appliances, tires, and scrap metals. Or check the city's website for all the details. This reminder from your friends at Cedar Rapids Solid Waste and Recycling.
Faucets leaking, termites feasting, fishing, tackle, paints and spackle, tubs, jacuzzis, tapes and movies, everything from A to Z. Tile and lumber, tons of plumbers, elevators, coffee makers, radiators, party favors. Take a look and you'll see. Let your fingers walk into Yellow Book and the other books.
When it comes to making their buying decisions, people today let their fingers do the walking through Yellow Book Yellow Pages. It's no wonder. Yellow Book's packed with money-saving coupons, restaurant menus, and vital community info. And with more ads than ever before, it has everything you need right at your fingertips. It's easy to spot. Just reach for the yellow directory with the map on the cover and join the smart shoppers who choose Yellow Book, not the other book. Put your business in Yellow Book. Call 1-800-YB-YELLOW.
Let your fingers walk into Yellow Book and the other books.
Advanced Systems, the leader in office technology, is like a great baseball coach when it comes to office productivity. Advanced Systems makes the most of your team. They do it with the latest technology for office productivity from Canon. They're also like a great trainer. Advanced Systems Advanced Life Support makes sure your office equipment runs at peak levels and fixes it fast if things go wrong. Hit it over the fence with Canon technology from Advanced Systems. Call 832-8291.
This is for the 21st century with Advanced Systems.
The top of the ninth inning, the Kernels with a 5-run eighth, a Taco Bell 10 spot. That means during the business day and night tomorrow, up to 10 beef tacos for just 39 cents. Ordinarily, they're 89 cents at Cedar Rapids Taco Bell. Von Sturzbach is on, and the count even out of George Kataris, 1-1 as he fouls one down the left side. Kernels 10, a Taco Bell 10 spot, and Fort Wayne 4 here in the top of the ninth inning. 13 hits for the Kernels, 4 of them coming in that eighth inning. Ball 2 just inside from Von Sturzbach. Here's the 2-1. And it's 3-1 to the batter now. Left-handed hitter George Kataris waits and pops one foul right over our heads. Boy, Al Gruwell, our official scorer, again has done yeoman work in figuring out that wild and woolly Colonel 5-run eighth inning. Thank you so much, Al. We'll relay the information to you about Jake Upwood and Chuck Bechtel in a moment. Strike 3 called. Von David Sturzbach came back from a 3-1 count and got the batter looking. 1 out in the top of the ninth inning. 10-4 Kernels. All you need to do tomorrow to get up to 10 beef tacos at Cedar Rapids area Taco Bells is march right in and say the Kernels scored a Taco Bell 10 spot last night. I'd like my beef tacos for 39 cents, please, and Taco Bell will gladly oblige you. A curve, and it's ball 1 to Greg Bochy. Aaron Pullen, 2 innings pitched, no runs, 1 hit, 1 strikeout, no walks. He is the pitcher of record for the Kernels. Strike 1 call to the batter. Aaron Pullen is trying to up his record to 3-1. A slider from Von Sturzbach, steer right to. Sturzbach warmed up for what seemed to be an eternity in that Colonel 5-run eighth inning in which the Colonels sent 10 men to the plate. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Von Sturzbach, who worked here Monday night in the Colonel 5-3 loss, has fanned the first 2 here in the top of the ninth inning. The Colonels are 1 out away from reaching 6 games above 500 for the first time this spring. Now Drew Macias, who has 5 extra base hits in this series, is at the plate. Line drive up the middle, right past the glove of Von Sturzbach. Yet another hit for Drew Macias. He continues to feast on Colonel pitching. Why he's hitting 8th in the order with a .329 average is beyond me, but He sure functions well there, so I won't question it. I'd bat him cleanup the way he's hitting. 1 on, 2 out, top of the 9th, and the batter is Skip Adams. Skip doubled his last time up. The Kernels, at that time, were tied with the Wizards 4-4. The Kernels got the go-ahead run across the plate. Howie Kendrick scoring on a Bobby Wilson sacrifice fly in the 7th. Then the Kernels erupted, and I do mean erupted, for 5 runs on 4 hits in the bottom of the 8th inning. A strike to Skip Adams. Open stance. Look out! Look out! He hits one a bullet into the premier seats above the Colonel first base dugout. Nobody sitting there, fortunately, in that particular seat. Big crowd on hand here tonight, 1,719. Nothing in 2 to Skip Adams. The Kernels have scored a Taco Bell 10 spot here tonight, lead 10-4 in the 9th. A high pop foul, maybe a play near the Fort Wayne dugout. No, it's about 8 rows up into the red premier seats, just beyond the reach of Matt Brown and Bobby Wilson. The Wizards have banged out 11 hits tonight. The Kernels 13. Fort Wayne has made a couple of errors. The Kernels have played errorless ball. On David Sturtzbach with the next pitch. A sharply hit line drive through the box just where Drew Macias lined one, and that is the 12th hit of the evening for the Wizards. Drew Macias stopping at second on a line single through the middle by Skip Adams. He did it on an 0-2 pitch. Now 25 hits in the game, 13 for the Kernels, and 12 for Fort Wayne. They send the top of the order up now in the person of Casey Baker. He's 1 for 4, drove in a run and scored in the Wizard 2-run third inning. They took the lead 2-1. Strike 1 called at the knees. Jake Upwood is the pitcher of record for Fort Wayne. If his teammates fail to rally, he'll drop to 1-1. If the Kernels can get the final out here in the 9th, Aaron Pullen will be 3-1. But the final out has been difficult to come by. A swing and a tip foul to the backstop. Once again, the Kernels are within a strike and an out of securing a win here tonight. 10-4 Kernels, a Taco Bell 10 spot. Nothing in 2 to Casey Baker. Look out, he lines one foul out of play to the left. Tell all your friends that tomorrow and tomorrow evening, beef tacos up to 10 per customer, just 39 cents when you mention that the Kernels scored a Taco Bell 10 spot tonight. And those beef tacos are ordinarily 89 cents, but only 39 cents tomorrow. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And Von Sturtzbach stands aside in the 9th inning for Fort Wayne. No runs, 2 hits, no Colonel errors. The Wizards leave a pair. They stranded 6. The Kernels with a Taco Bell 10 spot thump the Wizards 10-4. Totals, highlights, and more coming next. You're listening to Colonel Baseball on the Zone.
Whether you're a serious athlete or a weekend warrior, injuries can take you out of your game. Smart athletes know that Physiotherapy Associates in Cedar Rapids are the experts in the treatment and prevention of sport-related injuries. Our expert staff serves the metro and surrounding area high school athletes. Physiotherapy Associates in Cedar Rapids, the smart choice in sports medicine. Call us at 398-1569. That's 398-1569. We'll get you back in your game today.
Here's a reminder from Peck's Flower and Garden Center. Mother's Day is this Sunday, May 9th. Your mom will be delighted when she receives flowers and plants from Peck's, your professional PTD and Teleflora florist. Peck's can deliver your Mother's Day gift of flowers and plants almost anywhere. choose from one of Peck's many thoughtful fresh flower bouquets and growing plant arrangements. Peck's will create the perfect floral gift for your mom and deliver it for you if you wish. Order now while you're thinking about it. It's easy. Just call Peck's at 393-5565 or visit them at the corner of Blairsbury and Edgewood Roads Northeast. Peck's is open 8 to 8 weekdays and until 5 on weekends. You can also order online at www.pecksflorist.com. Peck's Flower Shop and Garden Center, delivering Mother's Day smiles since 1956.
Rev it up!
Get the key to buying and selling your next vehicle with the Corridor edition of Wheels for You. This automotive publication is available at over 400 locations near you every other Friday. Pick up your free copy today and put yourself in the driver's seat with Wheels for You. Call 800-397-8234 to place your ad today or visit us online at www.corridorwheelsforyou.com. Wheels for You, a publication of Gazette Communications.
Incredible high-speed action. Friday at Cedar Rapids. Now Leewood. The concept by Wireless Camping Special. And attractive Mid-America Stock Car. Available Super Truck. The special gift for ladies on Mother's Day weekend. Free Reading Rose sample pack. The first 300 ladies. It's only $1 this Friday for residents of Italy, Morris, North Liberty, Chewyville, and Solon. One of the biggest nights of racing this season. On the concept by Wireless Stock Car. Mid-America Stock Cars and Super Truck. Friday night. On down Speedway.
Oh.
It's time for the Kernels Curtain Call, right here on the Zone, ESPN Radio 1600 AM. With a recap of all the action, the State Farm Major League scoreboard, plus a look ahead to the next Kernels game, let's rejoin the voice of the Kernels, the one, the only John Rogers, here on the Zone, ESPN Radio 1600 AM.
And the Kernels, in a game that featured 25 hits, post a Taco Bell 10 spot and whip the Wizards 10-4. Let's give you the final line score for the Kernels: 10 runs, 13 hits, no errors. They left 8. The Wizards: 4 runs, 12 hits, 2 errors. Fort Wayne stranded 6. The winning pitcher out of the Kernel bullpen in relief of Abel Marino was Aaron Pullen. He's 3-1. The loser out of the Wizard bullpen was Jake Upwood. He's 1-1. This game took 2 hours and 49 minutes to play before a big Wednesday night crowd of 1,719. Remember, the Kernel 10-run spot tonight is a Taco Bell 10 spot. That means tomorrow and tomorrow evening during regular business hours, all you need to do to buy up to 10 beef tacos at 39 cents, just 39 cents, is go to the Taco Bells in Cedar Rapids and tell them you're there because the Kernels scored 10 runs at Taco Bell 10 spot. Ordinarily, those tacos are 89 cents. Beef tacos, 10 per customer tomorrow and tomorrow evening at Cedar Rapids Taco Bells for just 39 cents. 10-4 Kernels will return in a minute with our Liberty Bank star plays of the game. You're listening to Kernel Baseball on the Zone.
Hey, man, what's up?
Just getting ready to kick your butt.
Right. And mess up your hair?
You just wish you could look this good.
Boo! Nothing but net. Hey, I'm a busy guy. I don't have time to make my hair look as good as yours. I mean, who has time to schedule an appointment, let alone show up for it?
Not me. I just go to Cost Cutters. I can get in whenever it's convenient for me.
Nice shot.
Yeah.
So you're telling me you just walk into Cost Cutters and come out looking good?
Well, for some of us, that comes naturally. But Cost Cutters makes it easier. They can do anything you want. A cool cut, even some color, and get some of that styling gel stuff to keep you looking good. Like me.
Oh, so that's why your hair never moves.
Oh, you're funny.
Cost Cutters. Thanks, man. This will save me some time.
Great. Then you'll have time to work on your game.
Oh, yeah, that's funny.
Are you a busy guy? Save yourself time and walk into one of our area's 12 Cost Cutters whenever it's convenient for you. Then relax, because Cost Cutters will make things easy and affordable for you.
Cost Cutters. Live your life. We always have time for your hair.
A Taco Bell 10 spot as the Kernels trounce the Wizards 10-4. Remember, tomorrow a noon start. The gates open at 11. Thanks to Iowa's fastest growing community bank, Liberty Bank, we can now relive some of the Kernel glory tonight. Let's start with our first Liberty Bank star play of the game. It came in the 7th inning, bottom of the 7th. The game was tied at 4. Howie Kendrick, who had 3 hits tonight, was at third base with 1 out. He was at third base with, check that, the bases were loaded with 1 out, and Bobby Wilson was the batter. Let's listen to our first Liberty Bank star play of the game. First pitch to Wilson. A high fly ball down the line in right. I don't know if it's deep enough. Walbrink has it. We've got a play at the plate, and the runner is saved. A sacrifice fly by Bobby Wilson. Broke a 4-4 tie in the bottom of the 7th. With the score 5-4 Kernels in the 8th inning, Howie Kendrick was at the plate with the bases loaded, and here's what transpired. Our second Liberty Bank star play of the game. Kendrick loops a base hit into right. Base hit into right. 1 run is in. Caleb Mayer. Here comes Kempton. He scores standing up on a 2-run single. His 7th hit of the series for Howie Kendrick. And the Kernels have broken it open 7-4 here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Thanks to Howie Kendrick. 7-4 broke it open. Blake Balcom had a chance to put it on ice. He was the next batter. Here's our third Liberty Bank star play of the game. Well, apparently everything's moving, but we're not hearing anything. So apparently we will not hear Blake Balcom's. 9-4. Well, we heard the end of it. Blake Balcom, 2-run single. I pressed play and record, and that's a no-no, but on an 8-game homestand, if that's the worst mistake we make, I think we'll be in good shape. Blake Balcom's 2-run single did make it 9-4 and put this one on ice for the Kernels. Now, tomorrow, how's this for a game plan? The gates open at 11. Why not stop before the noon game or after the noon game at any of our area Taco Bells in Cedar Rapids? Because the Kernels scored a Taco Bell 10 spot tonight. You can get up to 10 beef tacos for just 39 cents. That's 50 cents off the regular 89-cent price. Tomorrow during the business hour and night at Taco Bell's. That does it for the Liberty Bank star plays of the game. We have a lot more ground to cover here on the Kernel Curtain Call because up next is the State Farm Major League Scoreboard. You're listening to Kernel Baseball on the Zone.
Toyota Financial Services of Cedar Rapids understands the importance of reading in the lives of our community's children. That's why they're proud to fund the 6th annual Toyota Financial Services Kernel Summer Reading Program. The generous support of Toyota Financial Services will result in Kernel players conducting a record 32 elementary school assemblies this spring to encourage girls and boys to read throughout the summer. Their reading accomplishments will be recognized by Toyota Financial Services with fabulous rewards. Toyota Financial Services, a true hero to the Kernels and the youth of our community.
If you don't stop by one of Jungi's 4 great locations, how will you know you got the very best deal? Stop in today at Jungi Lincoln Mercury Isuzu in Cedar Rapids, Jungi Ford and Jungi Chrysler Jeep Dodge in Center Point, and the new Jungi Chevrolet Pontiac in Anamosa. Now, 4 great locations. Still, one great name, Jungi.
Kernel manager Jack Rader, when Michelle Samar was our dugout interview guest this evening, had a twinkle in his eye, and he said, Michelle, tonight we're going to reach the high water mark of the season. The Kernels did that. They're 6 over 500 and could be tomorrow morning in sole possession of first place in the Western Division first half standings. Let's check, thanks to State Farm Insurance agents Lanny Peterson, Gary Schubat, Al Shetler, and Dale Thompson, scores on the State Farm Major League Scoreboard. We'll begin in the National League. In Philadelphia, the Phillies held on to edge St. Louis 5-4. In Miami, the Marlins blanked the Dodgers 2-0. It was Atlanta bowing to the Padres 2-0 San Diego at Turner Field tonight, a final. A final from Olympic Stadium in Montreal. The Rockies shut out the Expos 2-0. They're in the bottom of the 10th at Great America Ballpark, and the Reds are tied with the Brewers 4-4. 2-2, a game that was delayed by rain. They're back playing in Gotham at Big Shea, and the Giants and Mets are tied 2-2 in the top of the 7th. Houston leads the Pirates 5-2 in the bottom of the 6th in Texas, and in the bottom of the 8th at Wrigley Field, the Diamondbacks are blanking the Cubs 2-0. Now, in the American League on the State Farm Major League scoreboard, we have a final from Camden Yards. The White Sox shaded Baltimore 6-5. They're in the top of the 9th at Jacobs Field, and the Red Sox are ahead of Cleveland 9-5. A final from Skydome. The Blue Jays clobbered the Royals 10-3. Top of the 8th inning at the ballpark in Arlington, Texas 6, the Devil Rays nothing. And these games are just underway on the West Coast. No score in the top of the 2nd in Seattle, the Twins and Mariners. No score in Oakland between the A's and Yankees in the top of the 2nd. And in the top of the 1st, Detroit is batting. No score with our parent club, the 2002 World Champion Angels. Now, in addition to the State Farm Major League scoreboard, we can tell you that Clinton lost earlier this evening in Battle Creek to the Yankees 4-2. Thus, the Kernels pick up the game on Clinton. We started the night tied with them for first. And good news from Dayton. The Dragons shut out Kane County 3-0. So the Kernels will have sole possession of first place. Peoria whipped West Michigan in Central Illinois 6-1. So the Chiefs will now be in a tie for second with Clinton and Kane County. But tomorrow morning when the gates open at 11, the Kernels will hold a one-game lead over the Field in the Western Division first half standings. Thanks to State Farm Insurance agents Al Shetler, Lanny Peterson, Gary Shubat, and Dale Thompson for that look at the State Farm Major League scoreboard. Kernels 10, Fort Wayne 4. Get to Taco Bell tomorrow and tomorrow evening because 10 beef tacos will just be 39 cents each. They're ordinarily 89 cents. Just tell them you're there because the Kernels scored a Taco Bell 10 spot. 10-4 Kernels, thanks to Deb Williams, our in-studio engineer. We had a big crowd on hand here, 1,719. I think we can top it tomorrow for the noon start. Dugout interview time, 11:40 tomorrow morning. That does it from the new Veterans Memorial Stadium. The Kernels trounce Fort Wayne 10-4. John Rogers saying so long. You're listening to Kernel Baseball on the Zone.
This has been a special sports presentation from the Zone, ESPN Radio, 1600 AM, Cedar Rapids. Now back to our regularly scheduled ESPN programming already in progress.